I just hit go live. Okay. Going
Oh,
live.
hey, you're
You're
live.
live. Mother! Oh, I hate YouTube streaming. Okay.
And demonetized.
Okay.
You had one job.
Okay. Okay.
You had one job.
All right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You good?
It's fine. All right, cool. It is that time, guys. It is Westtown HD. We are coming back at you with the next installment of Talk of the Town podcast. We got some good topics. It's been a hot minute. I think it's been like roughly 3 weeks, 2 weeks, roughly. It's been a little bit. Been busy with October, lots of work, lots of things, but lots of news to cover as well. So we've got quite a bit of topics here tonight. Let me introduce our guests in Discord order. So we are joined by the one and only Count Christu. Yo, Chris, introduce yourself.
What's good? I'm Count Christu. I like video games. Okay.
All right, cool. As well as we have the one and only equals Evan. Evan, introduce yourself, my guy.
Hey, I'm Evan, and not only do I love video games, anime, and music, among other things, I love them all equally.
Well, okay.
I think you loved it a little too much.
Next up, we have the up-and-coming Breath of the Wild streamer herself. We got Glossgard. How you doing, Claire?
Hi everyone. I'm Claire. I'm a cosplayer. I make YouTube videos, and I also stream, as Blake said, on Twitch. Currently playing Breath of the Wild.
All right. And we have the one and only, you know him well. He's been on every episode. If you don't know him already, it's Revolving Bunker, new type SF.
It's me, your boy, in town, here to talk, crashing on your couch. You already know what I like.
Did you just say crushing on your couch?
Crashing on your couch.
Oh, I thought you said crushing on your couch, but that makes sense too.
Well, we crush. Okay.
And the newest addition to the squad as well, we've got the one and only boy himself, the streamer of old. We've got Rabbit Sensei. How you doing, Rabbit?
Hey, I'm doing all right. And hello to everyone out there in TV land or YouTube land, whichever it is these days. I guess they're one the same anymore.
Yeah, you know you're not wrong, and that's why cable companies are burning. But that's a topic for another stream. So let's get right into. Let's start with everyone's week. Chris, how was your week? What happened this week, my guy?
It was good. Literally nothing.
Okay, let's move.
Listen, I've been watching. Okay, I've been watching BlizzCon because that was interesting. And I've been getting hyped for Death Stranding, which is coming out soon.
Friday.
We got the final, the final trailer for that, and so that's it for me. I didn't do much.
Okay, all right, cool. What did you have? What's up this week?
Well, this week, I did college student things, typing papers, attending lectures, but I did make time to play some video games. I played some Nier Automata. I'm trying to get to the end of Route A pretty soon. And I caught up on some anime this week. I'm on track with My Hero Academia Season 4. I'm watching Owari Monogatari Season 2. And you know what? Dr. Stone is pretty epic.
I keep hearing people talk about it, but the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, this seems like Ava levels of confusion, and I don't know if I can follow it.
Don't worry about it. It's not that bad. I promise it.
It's got the Evan seal of approval. All right. And Claire, what was your week like? What did you get up to?
To be honest with you, I have spent a lot of time this week just getting things ready for streaming in my room. So I had a big Halloween stream that was really fun. But I've also been going to Best Buy and getting a new webcam and setting up my microphone and all of my overlays. So even with Halloween, of course I did things that day, but I feel like I've just been holed up in my room the entire week. And it's only getting colder, so hopefully next week I'll be able to do other things. We'll see.
Okay, all right, cool. New type. How was your week this month?
Well, I've been living that starving college student life. I'm trying to watch some anime. I started watching Seven Deadly Sins. I think they censored the latest season because when the blood comes out when a demon gets cut, it's like a white, so it looks kind of wrong. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Anyway, I didn't really do much this week. I watched a movie with a friend for Halloween. We watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. really not that scary, but what can you do?
Okay, yep, that's what. When you said they censored Seven Deadly Sins, the first thing I thought of was some of like the etchier scenes from what I've seen of the anime.
Oh, they didn't censor that. They just censored the blood.
Okay, that's kind of backwards. I feel like, because I feel like back in the day it was nipples are evil, but get the blood everywhere.
Well, see, that's how like Japan differs from like America. And America is like gore, that's okay. Show a nipple, that's a bad. And Japan's the other way around.
And then Tumblr's like female presenting nipples. Nah.
No, not in my humble Christian Tumblr.
So Rabbit, how was your week?
Oh, well, I finally decided that I'm going to go ahead and take a vacation on YouTube since I got things scheduled to publish on their own for the next couple of weeks, which that's going to be nice since, let me tell you, you don't want to do what I do. I burn the midnight oil. I have done 48-hour nonstop editing sessions before, so it is not a fun time. But I'm taking vacation, going to play me some Luigi's Mansion because I'm loving the game so far. And yeah.
Okay, all right. As for me, my week was kind of jumbled together. You know how it go. They tell you you're gonna work 2 days this week, and I work every day this week, and then some.
No.
Aside from that, I don't mind it. I like the work. I like the hours because need the money. Christmas is coming up, and I like spending things. So, but now this week, I had the pleasure of actually earlier today I had the pleasure of streaming Code Vein, courtesy of Rabbit Sensei Gaming. So far, game feels literally just like Dark Souls, but anime. So I mean, it's got my attention. I'll probably go back to it at some point. What else? I played some Super Monkey Ball. Good game. We have that on here as a topic, so I won't go too far into detail about it yet. But overall, solid week. Lots of good gaming time. I'll keep watching more and more JoJo. Just got to episode 32. I want to say. Of part 3. So I think, how long is part 3?
40 something episodes. 30.
38, 48.
It's 48.
The last time I checked, it's like 48 episodes, I think.
Okay.
It is 2 24-episode seasons.
Yeah, 48.
Okay, so part 4 is Diamond is Unbreakable? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes? Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm looking forward to catching up to that because it's been a wild ride so far. Because like the first season I feel like kind of plays it safe. And then once you get to like, I'd say part 3 has been the most bizarre out of all of the shows so far. Pun intended, by the way.
Yeah.
It keeps going. It's a roller coaster that keeps going up.
That's what I hear, and I'm pumped for it.
Bonus.
All right, though, let's dive into our first topic. So, by the time I had this list compiled, Overwatch 2 had been leaked, but they confirmed it yesterday, so it got confirmed. Overwatch 2, from what we can tell, is it's Overwatch 1, but like it's upscaled. It's got like a better, it's got like a different engine to it. Some different like layouts, more maps, a PvE mode, which is like a cinematic story mode of some sort. So yeah, I say this with the most how do I word this? Chris, how do you feel about Overwatch?
I'm sleep.
Chris's Twitter. The first thing I see all these people are like, Overwatch 2, oh, this looks so hype. Tracer looks so good, they gave her back her ass. Then there's Chris.
Dude, I was just watching the trailer with and I was on the call with Claire. I'm like, yo, Tracer's ass looks so nice. Like, in this
they gave her back the booty. But underneath all those tweets, you see a tweet from Count Christo. Who asked for Overwatch 2? I want to know, who asked for Overwatch 2?
Who asked for this? Who was like, yo, I need, like, it's like the jokes where people are like, Minecraft 2. like Overwatch 2, what even is that? And it's literally, it seems like a DLC, like expansion pack. It doesn't feel like a game, like an Overwatch 2. It just feels like Overwatch.
It's a very weird expansion because, like, they said that Overwatch, like the first one, could play with 2 and vice versa.
They said there's I really think the big pull is the PvE mode, honestly.
So are you just paying for the PvE mode? Because
for like a story mode, I guess.
If you don't care about the story mode, then just why bother?
Well, I guess you can just stick with the first game, but I don't know. Maybe like the new characters might be exclusive.
I think they come to the second one first. 'Cause I think possibly the second one's going to have the PTR, and the first one's no longer going to have the PTR.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I think honestly, the more I look at it, I think Overwatch 2 is more so trying to be for people who don't already own Overwatch. But at the same time, you guys released Overwatch on the Switch and then announced the second one also coming to Switch in the same month. Like, guys, y'all could have just waited at that point.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is supposed to be a crowd control announcement.
That's true. I think they tried to throw out as much as possible.
Honestly, I do think that's possibly a topic. But Rabbit, what do you feel about Overwatch 2?
What do I feel about it? Well, frankly, it's a $60 PvE patch. That's all it is.
Oof.
Wait, wasn't the original one 40?
Yeah, do you think they're gonna make it 6? I don't think they.
No, wasn't the original Overwatch $40?
No, it was 60 at launch, if I
Are you
remember
sure?
correctly.
I think it
but-
depends on the version. There's some with like more stuff that's
the Game of the
60,
Year
but
edition or like the
base
premium
40.
editions.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
those are all 60.
Yeah, because I remember whenever I got it on the PlayStation 4, because I didn't buy it twice, I wasn't double dipping. I got it on the PS4, and it cost me $60 whenever I first got it. So the second one's going to be probably the same process for everyone, and it's just a PvE patch. It's a ripoff.
Also, they stole this from Fortnite. They had Fortnite was free to play, and then they sold you the single player.
No, they did the opposite. It was meant to be PvP, and then they turned into PvP.
And
And
also,
then they just sold it off like that.
also one thing I also want to mention is, remember a long time ago how they said they'd eventually bring some story elements to Overwatch 1 Original?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes.
It looks like they backed out on that and decided, hey, we'll just charge for this.
Mm-hmm.
I think, for example, so, Rab will know what I mentioned when I mention this, but Warriors Orochi 4. It's a game that launched around this time last year, and they're doing an Ultimate Edition for it. However, if you already own the first version of the game, you can pay like $15 just to upgrade, as opposed to buying an entire game. So I'm wondering if for people that own the first Overwatch, if there will be some kind of discount, or just because between Overwatch 1 and 2, your account is all transferable and interchangeable. Like all the skins you have from Overwatch 1 carry over to the second one. So I'm wondering if there will be some kind of interchange between them.
Blake, it's Blizzard.
Am I having too much faith in the company I've only just started dealing with?
Yes.
Oh no, they've been messing up a lot lately. Like,
Same. Okay. Claire, did you have anything you wanted to say about Overwatch 2?
I checked out all of the new content on it. Back when the game first came out, meaning the first Overwatch, I was into it. I played it for a little bit. I watched all of the new cinematics because I just thought it was interesting, but I was never that involved in the fandom. However, I can tell you just from an outsider's perspective and the perspective of my friends who are all super talented at the game and super into it, it's kind of a joke. They play the game still, but they make fun of Blizzard. They don't like Blizzard, and they make fun of all of the things they promised, like, oh, there's going to be a story. It's kind of just they're in too deep now, so they're not going to stop playing because they're Grandmaster, and, like, you know, they could go esports with that if they wanted to. Especially in terms of, from the cosplay perspective, things have really died down. So that's why I'm happy there's at least some new designs for these characters for Overwatch 2, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as nearly as popular to cosplay as it had been when it first came out. There's been too many controversies, and the main people will still cosplay it, but a lot of people are just tired. So it's some clownery, especially with the Hong Kong stuff. It's some clownery, but I will just watch from a distance and see what happens.
So Claire is going to watch that ship burn from the shore. All right. What's next? So speaking of burn from the shore, Diablo 4, was it confirmed? Has Blizzard officially acknowledged it, or is this all still quote unquote leaked gameplay?
They acknowledged it.
Okay, they acknowledge. Okay, so Diablo 4 is happening. Like I said, this also kind of just feels like Overwatch. I don't know if they would have announced all this stuff at the time they did
No,
if they weren't.
They literally made a tweet that said, "Hey, we don't know when Diablo 4 is gonna come out."
So they don't know when Overwatch 2 is launching. They don't know when Diablo 4 is launching, meaning they are really trying to cover their ass.
Yeah, I mean, this really could be like Anthem style, where they just like put together like recorded stuff, like for gameplay and for a trailer. Like they don't have anything real, and they're just like, we need to get people hype and not do Diablo Immortal. Do you guys even have phones? Like,
Yeah, that's yeah. So Diablo 4. Evan, you play any Diablo?
No, I take comfort in the fact that I've not put any money towards any Blizzard property and really don't plan to for the rest of my days. So like Claire, I'm just gonna watch this shit burn from a distance and enjoy the backlash with my bucket of popcorn and leftover Halloween candy.
Wow. Okay. Rabbit, what do you? I know. You had a Let's Play of Diablo 3, I think, on your channel, Rabbit. So, how do you feel about Diablo 4 being announced with Blizzard's current scheme?
Honestly, I enjoy the Diablo franchise. I really do, because it's a dungeon crawler with procedurally generated content and always enhancing loot. You know I'm about that loot when it comes to dungeon crawling. But, and a big but here, I cannot lie. There is, with all this stuff going around with Blizzard, I have a feeling that the Diablo 4 leak might actually just be a Diablo Unlimited or whatever it was, the one on the phone, a trailer for that, a little pre-rendered CG
Dude,
trailer.
if they did that, Blizzard would actually be bombed by terrorists.
that would that would raise hell.
Oh
on the
my!
internet.
Oh, see,
I think a lot more people will just drop it instantly.
I think the people that were kind of like holding back on Blizzard would just completely go wild if that happened.
Listen, you can mistreat the Chinese people, but you can't mistreat my games.
Oh,
Not my precious Diablo.
that's so not okay, but unfortunately the truth.
Well,
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, to finish the thought I was going with, though, yeah, as you said, there was a Let's Play going on with me and Trip doing a collab on it, but we decided to actually call that collab off until everything with Blizzard is finally fixed.
can you fix it though?
We can hope.
I don't know, man.
You
I
know,
think they've been like messing up a lot of their properties.
while we're on the topic, we might as well just not avoid it. So Blizzard in Hong Kong. So how do they go about repairing this?
I think they gave some half-ass apology at one of their panels.
It's like they vaguely brought it up and they said, we acted too quickly, we went about things wrong, and they said like my B, and then they kind of ended it. Like they never even specifically brought up
My
anything, nor did they even say that what they did was wrong. They just said they didn't like the way that they did it. So I don't know. It wasn't much of an apology at all, but they did acknowledge it technically at BlizzCon. But it's still a mess over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they could fix it.
I mean, the only
Pretty much going to be the same as Riot, where some people will forget, and then some people will never forget. You know,
Wait, what
in the
happened
case of them, it was mistreating their female employees. So it's going to be on them for the rest of their career as a company, and I'm happy with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Rabbit.
Well, one thing I was going to say is their apology stuff. Yeah, their apology was not an apology at all. It was more of an excuse. But one thing I will have to say is I could understand why they did pull the VOD down originally, because trying to have anything political in something that's just supposed to be about the gaming does leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Even if it was a good statement, it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth.
That's true.
I think they went about the way they went about it was completely wrong, and then it just escalated from there. If they just said, "Hey, we just took down the VOD because we want to keep things about the game and not anything too political,"
Yeah, but instead they're like, "Give me your money."
it's like, "Give me your money,
$10,000.
you're banned,
You're
go
banned for a
fuck
year. Bot is gone, and we're killing your family.
He's like, all right, fine. We made a mistake. We're giving half his money back.
Did they actually?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they did eventually pay him.
Just
And then they
imagine.
have the suspension too, so he's suspended for 6
Oh
months.
no, wait, yeah, it was his pay, but they have the suspension.
Yeah.
Just imagine Blizzard just reaching their hand forward. Give me all your money.
Well, it's a gaming company. Isn't that what they do?
Yeah, okay. You got me there.
I mean, that's what Overwatch 2 is.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Was there anything anyone else wanted to get across about Blizzard, Overwatch 2, Diablo, or Hong Kong before we move on?
Yeah, I think all their properties just die. I think they're just quitting on most of them. Like Hearthstone, I don't think that's being updated anymore.
I didn't even know that
StarCraft
was-
2,
I didn't
I don't think they're doing much with that.
Is
either.
StarCraft? I didn't know StarCraft was Blizzard.
Yeah, StarCraft is a Blizzard property.
Okay.
I don't think they're doing anything new for that. I think it's kind of like, yeah, it's there. They have a MOBA, but I don't think that's being updated anymore either. Wait, don't they also have Call of Duty or something?
I think
No, that's Activision.
Activision, yeah.
Activision? Okay, yeah.
I think Activision's part of Battle.net now.
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
It's
So at least they have that COD money, maybe? I don't know.
COD money is good money, but I don't know if it's going to save your company.
Yeah.
Blake,
You
you
know what?
underestimate the shooter fan base.
No, Rabbit. Trust me, I don't underestimate. I sell them their stuff. I know how much money we make on those days. I know. Trust me. I don't underestimate anyone here. The Call of Duty fan base is always rich because each year after they buy their next game, they set aside the full amount of the most expensive edition for next year so they can pay it off and get it, regardless
You know,
of if they know.
If they fail as a video game company, they can always go back to animations. Those trailers are actually really good.
I was say,
They're
if
so
they
good,
made
yeah.
Overwatch like movies, maybe people would care.
Yeah.
Oof. Everything else, nah.
You know, I saw Chris
Right on.
say that he doesn't even or Chris and you said both say they didn't really care about the characters. Now, if they did like more animated shorts, or even if they just like animated movies or like a cinematic like Netflix or something like that, would that
Well,
entice you?
I like the characters. I like their gimmicks. I just don't like care for like Overwatch itself since they never really like built it up very well.
If they did more with the characters, like they have personalities, but I guess there's nothing
Like,
Oh,
else to it.
McCree is a cowboy with all these freaking talking gorillas and robots. What's not to love?
There's a hamster.
There's a
Hamtaro.
hamster.
Hamtaro.
And I mean, listen, I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. I will forever respect and like Overwatch for giving the internet such great SFM models for artists to do with as they please.
Oh no.
So we're gonna move on
Move
now. So The Witcher 3 has launched on the Switch. I think it's been like 2 weeks since the game's been out now. Reviews are out for it. FPS tests are out for it. To no one's surprise, in TV mode, it looks like hot melted cheese in a microwave. But I mean, hey, that's okay because in handheld mode, if you look at some of the footage in handheld mode, sure, there's a lot of popping, but it's the best you could get Witcher on a handheld, I'd say.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Unless you
so, like,
own
it's-
like one of those GP Win things or whatever, those like little like Windows 10 gaming handheld things, but.
Yeah, so it's 540p in handheld, but because the screen's so small, it looks a lot sharper, and it's way better than it being 720p when it's docked, and it's just like the lowest res possible HD, and it looks grimy.
When you upscale a Wii with a third-party adapter, that looks better than The Witcher 3 on docked mode.
Yeah. But it is pretty impressive, I think, that they got it, handheld mode, I think, is like the impressive bit about The Witcher.
Honestly, that was one of those things. When did they announced it at E3? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
all of our reactions were, "How the hell are they gonna pull this off?"
Oh my god, and I think this is the largest Switch game on cartridge. No.
I think it's the largest. It's I think it's 48 gigs as a download digital. So you need out the gate. You have to buy a micro SD card for your Switch if you want that digitally.
Yeah,
Just for
but yeah,
one
I think they use I think the cartridge is like the biggest size they put on a cartridge though. I think it's like a 32 gigabyte cartridge that then you download the rest of it. But even like the Smash one is like 16 gigs, and then you download the rest of it. Like, for some reason, they have a special cartridge for this game.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's a good way for them to test out like more like heavy intensive games for the future.
Mhm. It's pretty cool.
now I think that now we've seen Witcher and Doom both run on the Switch. I think anything, if you're willing to sacrifice, can be brought to the console.
Yeah, just I can see Red Dead on that. Now that game was like 100 gigs. on
Apparently,
PlayStation 4.
Red Dead on PS4 and Xbox One, if you don't have the Pro or the Xbox One X, like apparently like the regular versions of it, like the frame rate can dip a bit there. And I'm like, if it's dipping on a console like that does not.
I don't remember any
Yeah.
dips on when I played it.
Maybe lots of fire will do that. I guess maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah, but that happens with any game really. Like fire particle effects, like just drop any frames in any game.
This is true.
That's true indeed. So Evan, how do you have you played The Witcher on the Switch yet?
I have not. However, I can say that given some of the reaction I've seen online and hearing you guys talk about it, I feel that anybody that wanted a really nice portable experience of possibly a game that they really treasure from a previous time in their life can have that. They can have a really nice, comfortable experience, not having to worry about going super out of their way to get something pretty inconvenient. And I'm happy for the people that are super into it.
Okay, all right. Claire, do you have any strong feelings towards The Witcher?
Well, all I can say is that having more games like The Witcher come to the Switch will help the console in the long run, because the first thing, the oldest, the most tired thing that people who hate Nintendo say is, Nintendo is for babies. They don't make cool games. They don't make games for adults and for epic gamers. Well, look, now we're getting all of these games on a Nintendo console. So it's not like, obviously that that argument is dumb and it's never made any sense and it's just something uncreative to say. But truly, we're getting games that would be perfect for a family that, let's say, the kids use the Switch to play Mario games and Just Dance, and Dad loves to play The Witcher and Skyrim. So they don't need to buy a PS4 or an Xbox. They can play all of the games that are perfect for everyone in the family, all on the Switch. So I hope they bring more games like this and just continue to get new big releases like this.
Okay,
Not to mention the fact that this helps with a lot of people's complaints about previous Nintendo generation consoles about how the third-party support was just lacking like crazy. I feel like the Switch they've really tried with the Switch to remedy that.
I mean, they really dropped the ball with the Wii U, but for the Switch, they really upped their game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of crazy stuff on there now. I mean, Blake, did you play a third-party game called Moero?
Yeah. Chris and I, Soski's in the chat. Yeah, we're all just gonna tense up real quick. We played a game like that. But I mean, Claire makes a fantastic point. I'd never looked at it like that. If you buy the Switch, like you get there's something there for everyone. Except the only person that won't appeal to is the graphics snob, because
True, the graphics, FPS, frame rate snobs, but
honestly, if you're a dad that's like 35, just trying to raise a family, and you're just tired of everything, I don't think you're gonna care too much.
yeah, I've never, as long as the frame rate is, I've never gotten like graphic snobs or frame rate snobs. As long as it's like steady, if it's a steady 30 or a steady 60, I'm fine with it.
That's fair. So, moving past The Witcher 3 now.
Oh, you're just going to skip me a new type? I see how it is.
Okay, that was kind of like a party ball discussion. Rabbit, speak your mind, friend.
All right. Well, I haven't played The Switcher yet, and
Switcher.
honestly,
I have a story about that term, but I'll let it finish.
But honestly, I am glad to see it on there because, as Claire said, it does show that there's something for everyone on the Switch. But one thing it also proves is the fact that the Switch can handle labor-intensive games as well, meaning that it'll make it to where other developers aren't as scared to develop for it.
Yep, that's also a good point.
Yeah. But yeah, in the end, though, for The Witcher, I'll just eventually get it on PC. It's cheaper that way.
All right. Okay. Cool. Now, before we move on from The Witcher, did anybody else want to voice their opinion on this?
No.
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 Okay. Cool. So a customer had actually bought The Witcher, for the Switch, and he came back like 3 days later, and he was like, "Dude, I love this game. It's so good, but I have a PS4 Pro and a 4K TV, so I'm gonna pick it up on PS4." So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fair. And then I looked at it. I looked him in the eyes and said, "So you're looking to do a Switcher, eh?" And he looked at me. He was like, "Respect, but no, never say that again." Moving on to our next topic, though. So let me tell y'all about Super Monkey Ball. So I think it was the last podcast we did. We got Riku-san to actually purchase Monkey Ball on the Vita. And on the spot, he spontaneously bought Monkey Ball. We don't know if he's played it yet or not. But Monkey Ball is something that's near and dear to my heart because it was what was great on the GameCube. It was one of those, to me, Monkey Ball was like, everyone's got that game that they played as a kid where it was stupid hard. You felt like it was unfair, but you kept playing it anyway. That was Monkey Ball for me. And me and my little brother ran through all of... Well, we got 95% of the way through Monkey Ball, and then we're like, screw it, we're going to bed. Skim's going back to the store. But Monkey Ball came out. I think overall it was a really good return to form. The graphics looked really good. Adding Sonic in there was a nice touch, unneeded, but it was a really nice touch. The music was just as good as you remember it. A lot of it was recycled from Monkey Ball 2, which is not a problem because Monkey Ball 2 was great. But does anyone else have anything they'd like to say about Monkey Ball? Evan?
Yeah, Super Monkey Ball is a really interesting one to talk about for my case because Super Monkey Ball 2, as you just mentioned, was honestly one of those games that I would play with my sister and like my cousins when I was a kid, and we eventually picked up Super Monkey Ball Adventure on the GameCube later when that was a thing, and I just remember having a lot of fun with this series. So and through your recent stream of it, actually, I felt like I was taken back to like 2006 when I was playing Super Monkey Ball all those years ago, and I wondered if I should look into this new title.
You okay?
You're making me consider things.
I did say I returned it, but that's only because we were able to cheese all 8 worlds and then the 2 bonus worlds in, like, I'd say together 4.5 hours. And it's just the how do I put this? The frugal spender in me was like, I'm probably not gonna play this game again now that I've already experienced all the levels. It doesn't really have much replayability, and the party games for the game were kind of lacking. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it back and put that towards Pokemon, because Pokemon I know I'm going to play for a long time. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Claire, do you have any feelings towards Monkey Ball?
Monkey Ball was one of my first experiences with video games.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably when I was only 5 or 6 years old. I went over to my cousin's house who had a PlayStation, and I don't remember much about this experience, but when the first time you just even saw a video game and you really didn't know what was going on at all, that was Monkey Ball for me. So it's always been a fond memory of mine throughout my entire life. I never actually played one of the games, though. It was just that one experience, and that did inspire me to then look into getting a DS and starting my whole epic gamer journey, if you will. But now that they're making new content for it, it seems really fun. It seems like Rainbow Road, except all the time. So, so I would love to play it, but more so I'd love to listen to the soundtracks for the games and look at the art style because it's very nice. It's very me.
So, if you want to get Claire Monkey Ball, you can check out her stream tomorrow night, where she'll be taking donations for Monkey Ball. And new type. What do you feel towards Monkey Ball?
You know, when I was a young lad, I once saw a Monkey Ball in the store for like $6 one time. Like, I was like looking at it, debating it, and I just went, nah. And then I left it there, and I kind of regret it now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like come around and be like, I kept seeing it, then I came back for it one day, it was fate. But yeah, you're like, nah, fuck that, I'm going.
No, it was like a store I only went to like one time as a child of my mother.
Yeah, Monkey Ball really was always in the bargain bin, wasn't it?
It was always like, I don't remember. I kind of regret it. It was for the GameCube too.
Okay, that's fair. I think I can't remember how I came into Monkey Ball. I think it was just one of those things. Christmas gift. Parents were like, "You'll like it. It's E for everyone." There's not a whole lot of the games out there that are E for everyone, but play it because you're a kid. And I did. Chris is back though. So Chris, how you feel about Monkey Ball?
What's up? It's fine. I was about to say I still have it on GameCube. On my GameCube, I've had it, and I've brought my sister to rage with that game, but it's rough though. Like I can't even beat some of it. It's like Rainbow Road all the time. I've never heard that before, but that's perfect. Claire.
Literally a perfect description.
But I don't have any thoughts about the new game because I didn't hear anything about it. I just saw you were streaming it one day, and that was the first time I heard about it. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. They really didn't do a whole. If you weren't a big fan of Monkey Ball, you probably wouldn't have noticed a whole lot of it because Sega didn't really do too well promoting it. But it's overall, I think it was pretty all right. But Rabbit, but we are not forgetting about Rabbit. Rabbit, how is I know you are also a huge Sega fan like me. So how do you feel about one of Sega's other IPs getting a resurgence?
No, I'm glad to see the Super Monkey Ball game resurgence. Honestly, the only one I ever got to play before was the one on the GameCube, and in the party mode only, because I didn't own the game since I was always really broke as a kid. But yeah, I love the party mode on it, such as the target aim, where you have to go ahead and just fly through the air after launching off the ramp and try to get
Monkey Target, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, something like that. And watching you play it on the past couple streams, the more I was looking at it, I was thinking, yeah, this definitely seems like a fun time. Because I used to play those marble puzzles on the wooden blocks all the time, and that's exactly what it is. And so it looks really exciting to me, and the fact that Sonic's in there, that's an added bonus, because, can't go wrong with Blue Blur.
Since it's on like a Nintendo console, can we get like a Nintendo character? Can we get like Donkey Kong? Can we get Diddy Kong? Can we get Grookey? Put in Grookey.
Bro, oh, yeah, why? I can actually see Grookey in that ball so well.
Come on, let's go.
Blake, are you telling Grookey to get in the ball?
I'm moving on to the next.
And he's shaped like a Pokeball. Missed opportunity.
Oh.
You know what though? Fun fact. Did you guys ever hear about the study by Dr. James Rosser several years back on Super Monkey Ball?
No.
I have not.
Okay. So there's this doctor from Florida that conducted a study that he found that doctors playing video games before minor surgical operation could lead up to like a 26% increase in overall surgical performance. Physicians that played games like Super Monkey Ball at least 3 hours a week made 37% fewer surgical errors over a 3-year period.
Wow. I don't think I want my doctor playing Trauma Center.
when you led with a Florida man study, and I was like, oh no, please don't tell me Monkey Ball's breeding murderers again.
I'm just imagining an alligator like lab again.
Don't worry about it, Rabbit. What were you saying, Chris?
I need my surgeon to be like a master in dude. His hands would be so steady. If I see him do like perfect wave. What's called wave landing.
Perfect wave landing? Oh no,
dude! He can operate on me.
Would you let Abadongo and what's his name? Jigglypuff player.
Hungry Box?
Oh yeah, would you let Hungry Box operate on you?
Absolutely.
Bow chicka bow wow.
this is it sounds a little inappropriate, but no, I just need surgery. I'm in pain. No,
Chris, okay?
no, this is
is not a
hypothetical.
Okay,
Sorry, but
so
it's cover insurance. Anyway,
moving forward, this is something that I had actually just thought of. That's not actually on the list that I gave everyone. And this is kind of be like a not everyone has to comment on this one. This is just if you have something to say, then you can say it. But there's a new Dragon Ball Project Kakarot trailer that came out the other day. That showed off Vegito, the Majin Buu saga, like all that stuff. And honestly, this game is looking meaty. Because we got everything from as soon as Raditz hits Earth to from the Buu saga, and I don't know what's beyond that. Is Super beyond the Buu saga? I don't know.
It's beyond the Buu saga. Super is. Yes.
Okay, because I don't know. It's because the game's supposed to come out in January, but it looks like unless that's like the last trailer they're gonna show us. Like, where are we going from there? That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, because honestly, what do you if any Dragon Ball fans, what do you guys think of Project Kakarot?
Honestly, the game looks fantastic, but I'm just tired of the old like regular DBZ story that they usually do. So if anything, I'll probably be looking more into the side quests and the goofy stuff they do, or at least some.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I mean, I haven't experienced the Dragon Ball story overly to the point of me being sick of it, and I am super biased to anything that's Cyber Connect 2. Because they did the Ninja Storm series, and that, in my opinion, the Ninja Storm series set the bar for what anime games should be. And I think they kind of set the bar a little high, and no one's been able to graze it yet. I mean, looking at you, Jump Force. Oh
man, Jump Force should have been so much better.
It really could have been.
Yeah. Also, so you said that you love CyberConnect 2. Does that mean that you're eventually going to get and stream Dot Hat GU Trilogy?
I knew I couldn't mention CyberConnect 2 without you mentioning the Dot Hat game they did. And to that rabbit, I say eventually, maybe it could happen. Because I still have an interest as well as trying their JoJo game that they made.
Is it up to me again, Blake?
Do not do it. We are in a podcast, rabbit. You will not do this on stream. Good.
No, I was just gonna say, in that way, I do feel similarly in the sense that I love Dragon Ball. I love this series to pieces. I've been watching it since I was 10, and as a result of that, I do feel a little bit of the even though this is going to be a different kind of game that Dragon Ball hasn't really seen that much of, it at the same time, I will say that while we are going through, yes, all of the same Dragon Ball Z story points that we've been hitting in video games since the 90s, there is something about, to add on to Blake's point a little bit, CyberConnect 2, when they do their thing, when they do this right, there's a certain amount of attention to detail and just overall just crispness when it comes to visual execution. A lot of these animations are really, really fucking nice in these trailers. Like, this game looks, on a technical level, looks really good for an anime game. One of the best I've seen in a little while, honestly. So in that way, I feel like, even in a way where Arc System Works has done even its own original content for fighters, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, for instance, this is a little bit different. And this, in my head, is kind of like what I would have wanted a Dragon Ball Z game to look like when I was like still going through the anime while playing like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the PS2, you know?
Yeah, CyberConnect. I've always said that CyberConnect does such a great job with whatever they're thrown. As well as there's also, I believe there's a special premium sound edition that we're getting in the West, which I mean, I guess I'm used to like SD Gundam or like any of like the other anime mecha games like not giving us the premium sound editions, but there's I believe there's a premium sound edition that we're getting in the West that's gonna have like a bunch of like the anime openings actually in them. I think like they had Head Chala when he was fighting Raditz playing in the background, and that wasn't edited. That was actually part of the game, and I was like, this is kind of hype. This is kind of lit. Like I'm gonna need this. But Chris, did you watch Dragon Ball, Chris?
I have, yeah. I'm not like a super fan though. I don't have too strong thoughts on this game or anything like that.
When you said I'm not a super fan, I was like, I guess he doesn't like Dragon Ball Super. Okay.
I'm like, I hate Super. No.
Claire, did you grow up with Dragon Ball, Claire?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
End of discussion.
I really just watched Pokemon growing up. I didn't know what Toonami was until I was much older, so I missed out on a lot of that.
Mhm.
And probably I didn't get into watching anime until around the time Funimation and Crunchyroll started having a online service. So for a lot of the nostalgic memories that people have of shows like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, I wasn't really around for that. But I know enough just from overhearing things and being in circles of cosplayers and going to conventions to be able to have opinions on it occasionally. So it's not a game that I'm particularly interested in just because I am not active in the fandom or watching the show. However, it does look fun. And it would be one of those things where if I was over at a friend's house, I would be more than happy to try it out, and I'd probably enjoy it.
Okay. My mom still talks about Dragon Ball, and for one reason only. Say it with me now. Vegeta. My mom, like, has your mom ever, like, said some really uncomfortable things to you in detail, and you've been like, Mom, stop? Let me tell you how whenever she looks at Vegeta, she's like, look at how dumb he is in those tights. Look at his muscles. Look at his muscles. And my dad's like, oh, good Lord. And she's like, honey, if you had muscles like that, maybe we'd be happier. And I was like, Mom!
Your mom sounds like an icon.
Yeah, no, she was super into Vegeta, and so that's kind of where I came in Dragon Ball. Was
I thought you were about to say that's how you were conceived.
No, I am not part of the Saiyan race. No, I mean, I wish I could be. I mean, if I scream loud enough, will my hair pop or my head pop? One or the other. Rabbit, do you have anything to say about Kakarot? I feel like did you watch Dragon Ball?
I watched Dragon Ball whenever it was on Toonami such a long time ago, and I did suffer through GT.
That's not canon anymore, though.
I haven't watched any Super, but I will say this: there's one thing I wish they'd bring from GT to this game.
Super Saiyan 4?
Super Saiyan 4. Yes, that was the best Super Saiyan design, in my opinion.
Literally, it was.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Yeah, the game does look interesting to me, and I do want to play it because I love CyberConnect too. Just they're a great company. They're really nice to the people they hire on as well as their fan base. So yeah, it's just
Shout
a
out
good
to
company, and they make good games.
Okay. What'd you say, Noob? Shout out to me?
No, shout out to them.
Okay, I heard you say shout out to me, and I was like, New Type works for CyberConnect confirmed.
Oh, that'd be a plot twist.
So we don't get too hung up on this. We can move on to the next topic.
One more thing. For those interested in DBZ, DBZ Kai is coming to Netflix soon, so check that out.
Kai is the one that like paraphrases everything in like regular anime time as opposed to Dragon Ball time. Yeah?
Yep, and Popo went from black to blue, but that's fine. Anyway, moving along.
Okay. Have to look into that. So Persona 5 Scramble. It is confirmed as a direct sequel to Persona 5. We won't talk about the end of Persona 5 here because not everyone has finished it. I believe Evan and Rabbit still haven't
either.
And neither is Chris. Okay, so we're not going to talk about the ending of Persona 5, but this takes place roughly half a year after the events of Persona 5. And I just want to point out all of these fake Persona fans, everyone, I'm specifically calling out Shadow Elite, because this man was like, this looks just like a trashy Muso game. I'm not into Muso games, it's going to be bad, I'm not really going to pick it up. And then as soon as Atlas dangled the car keys and said, hey guys, it's canon, everyone's like, well, excuse me? Excuse me, what? So now all of a sudden, everyone's back on board. Overall, though, it's a weird Muso game. I'd say it's... Rabbit's played more Muso than me, so you could probably attest to what it looks more like. But it looks it's very different from a traditional Muso, where it's just hack and slash one area to the next area, so on and so forth. This looks like there's actually like stealth sections and like they've thrown so much Persona into it. But Rabbit, you want to talk about it for a minute?
Okay, well, I can tell you right now that this is not a Muso game. It is not. It has some Musou elements, such as the hordes of enemies, yes, that can be taken down. But from what I've seen, it looks more akin to a character action game, similar to what the Tecmo side of Koei Tecmo has done before. You know, they've made games like Ninja Gaiden and such like that. And this feels more like those games than it does a Musou game.
So like Ninja Gaiden, kind of.
Yeah, only not as hard.
Oh, I never beat that.
Poor New Type. New Type, how do you feel about it though? Being confirmed as a direct sequel to Persona 5.
That's fantastic. Honestly, I was kind of worried that it would be like a actual traditional Musou because I could never get into those kind of games. But now that I'm looking at the trailer and it's like, it seems more than that. It seems like more unique and there's more depth into it. I'll definitely be looking into it more.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm excited for it.
All right, we're gonna go. We might as well go in reverse order now. So, Claire, I know you love Persona. So how do you feel about this game?
Oh, well, I'm really excited. And to be honest, you guys are saying, yeah, it doesn't look like a Musou game. So that makes me want to buy it.
Ooh.
Because I did not like Hyrule Warriors. I did not like Fire Emblem Warriors.
Not a lot of people
and
like Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
I've never tried an actual Dynasty Warriors game before. So this seems right up my alley. And in terms of it being a direct sequel, well, that's exciting for me because I really did enjoy Persona 5. I love these characters. I want to see what happens next. And I want to know if they're going to make any of the ships canon.
Oh no.
I need to know what's going to happen.
Makoto gets on the dick.
Inappropriate. We're taking your YouTube channel down tonight. But yeah, I mean, just to get more content is great. And Dancing All Night, Dancing All whatever the other ones are called.
Endless Night, Star Night?
Whatever. You get more interactions between characters, but it's not the same as an actual Persona game, if that makes sense.
Doesn't have the sauce.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we'll get some juicy content out of this that will be, as they have now announced, canon, a direct sequel.
Yes, because around here we season our chicken.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Evan, I believe you had been playing through Persona 5, but what does S look like to you?
A little bit, but honestly, I haven't put in a huge chunk of time. However, I did manage to sneak a peek at a little bit of the Persona 5 Scramble trailer, given that a friend of mine kind of held me hostage, and he was just like, yeah, I need to show you this trailer right quick because this game looking clean as a mug right now. You have to see this. And I'm watching this thinking, this looks cool. And kind of makes me want to get off my slacker tendencies and procrastinating to get back to Persona 5 as soon as I finish Nier. And given the fact that Persona 5 Scramble will be out early next year, kind of makes me want to just hurry it up. It's good motivation for sure. Game looks good, gorgeous. Given the fact that it's not a Musou game, I'm excited about that because also just. Like Claire, I have also not played a Dynasty Warriors game and probably won't. Just because at first I used to think that kind of game honestly wouldn't appeal to me. Just because just on gameplay reasons, I've seen and felt exhaustion of watching. I used to watch somebody play Hyrule Warriors stream-wise and max out the stats on every single character. Leveled them all up, and you gotta admit, when you're watching or playing that experience over and over and over again, it's exhausting. It gets a little repetitive, but I feel like there are things about this that are kind of dissuading me of some of those perceptions and fears that come with the territory. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So before we let Chris say his piece, I just want to defend the Musou genre real quick.
I'll join you on that.
Because I can definitely understand not being a fan of like the Dynasty Warriors entries, because personally the Dynasty Warriors entries have never really done it for me either. I like the spin-off games a bit more because it's always just super like flashy fan service at its peak. The anime games normally, like Gundam Dynasty Warriors, it's a whole lot of fun. But like everyone was saying, I will admit to having done maxed out every character in the Wii U version of Heart of Warriors. I maxed out to level 255. But keep in mind, during that time, I wasn't staring at the game the entire time. Muso games are a really fun game to just have on a second monitor while you watch anime or listen to music or a podcast or something. They're really easy games just to sit back and, because they don't take any focus whatsoever. You're just mashing a button. And if you're trying to like go for like the completionist routes where you can like clear open, like in Heart of Warriors, how they have like those 9 different maps and you want like all the heart pieces and whatnot, it's satisfying to still unlock those costumes, those weapons and whatnot. But if the gameplay still doesn't appeal to you, then honestly, it's just not for you. Fire Emblem Warriors, Claire, don't feel bad. Only a small handful of people enjoyed Fire Emblem Warriors.
I'm one of that small handful because I always enjoy Musou games for the story more than anything else, because that's what it is. I can actually focus on the story that's being told instead of having to focus on the gameplay and miss out on the story itself. So that way, Musou games that are of other franchises, not actually Dynasty Warriors itself, feel like a celebration of a franchise to me.
I really liked Warriors All-Stars because that's how I kind of got to learn some of Koei Tecmo's other franchises. Like, that was the very first time I had ever come into contact with Atelier. And I would love... I feel like if they do another Warriors All-Stars, they're going to throw Rise in there. They're going to throw Rise in there. Rise is a phenomenon right now. But even seeing, like, Ryu Hayabusa, they're putting Ryu Hayabusa in the next Warriors Orochi. And Ryu Hayabusa, he's a cool guy. He's going to be in Smash. Trust.
Yeah, he better be in Smash. I mean, he was a staple on the NES. Be it an infamous one, it's still a staple.
I honestly, we'll get to Smash predictions later, but I have a feeling there's something there. But before we move on, Chris, did you have anything you wanted to say about Persona 5S: The Phantom Strikers?
I don't have anything to say that hasn't been said already. I just think it looks really cool. Definitely different than the Musou games that I've seen before. It's like, I don't know, it just feels like a full Persona 5 game. So maybe I'll play it. I don't know, but if it I don't have a way to play Persona 5. So
oh right, yeah, you still haven't you haven't played Persona 5 at all yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
so maybe this will be my Persona game. I don't know.
Well, it's coming to the Switch, so
yeah, exactly. That's why.
Time to read that synopsis.
I'm gonna open up that Wikipedia page right now.
I feel like though reading through and like that's gonna ruin Persona 5 because like it's
I would watch a Let's Play or something if I really needed to.
Watch the highlights.
Oh man, that's or you could just buy a PS4 and pick up Royal when that comes out.
Listen, if anyone wants to buy me a PS4, my PayPal is crburwell@yahoo.com.
And don't forget, anyone who subscribes to Count Christu on Twitch receives $10,000.
$10,000.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you subscribe to
Wait, you
Count
have
Chris right now.
$10,000. Why can't you buy a PS? Okay, whatever.
Well, no. The
Don't question
$10,000 is for the people that subscribe to my Twitch. That's a separate account.
Oh,
Solely
okay.
for people that subscribe to me on Twitch.
I see.
Listen, when you subscribe to me on Twitch, I will make all your dreams come true. I can literally command magic if you're a subscriber to mine on Twitch. So.
I see.
Just as soon as he gets that.
Oh, you want to see Chris do some black magic? Go to his Twitch.
All magic I do is black magic.
You know, we're not going to get into that right now. We're going to move forward. So we were just talking about Smash before. We're going to move into Smash now. Terry Bogard was rumored, leaked, hinted at, kind of coming out sometime soonish, and he hasn't come out yet at the time of recording this podcast, being November 2nd. It looked like he was going to come out yesterday, but some stuff I guess didn't fall into place. When do you guys think we're going to see Terry? I think Sosuke is saying possibly next week. I think it's going to be... I hope it's before Pokemon and SD Gundam, because as soon as Pokemon hits, my time is gone.
Yeah.
I imagine they wouldn't want to clash release windows too much, so I'm thinking next week is probably likely as well.
Don't they usually do like an odd day of the week, like Tuesday?
It's normally Thursdays or Wednesdays, honestly.
Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, it'll probably be next week with a Wednesday. Or at least sometime this month, Wednesday. We're like, hey, here's Terry. Here's Daddy Terry. Here you go.
Here's Daddy Bogart.
Mhm. Yeah. If I had to take an estimate on when he might come out, I'm thinking maybe November 5th.
November 5th.
Ooh,
That is 3
Tuesday.
days from now. Tuesday. I would love Tuesday because I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, I work Thursday, Wednesday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I can't English. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I would love it if he came out on Tuesday. 'Cause,
Although, don't you usually do it direct for these characters?
They no, not a direct, but they normally do like a Sakurai live stream on Twitch. Where
Okay.
And launch on that
Enough.
exact same day.
yeah, basically it's at this point.
Yeah.
If they do a presentation and they're like, Terry will be out 5 days from now, people are gonna be like, bullshit, Sakurai, he's coming out tonight, and he's like, yeah, he is. 'Cause,
Oh, he's done.
like, at this point, I think people have come to just expect the character's gonna launch the same presentation. Because when they were like, Banjo's coming out now, I was like, you are full of it. It's not even fall yet.
Okay, but okay, since we probably know he's gonna be released the day they announce him or whatever, who else do you think are they gonna announce, like another character at that same stream?
See, there's a rumor going around by VergeBen, and VergeBen was a really accurate leaker. He leaked the last time for Smash 4 and whatnot, and he said that there's going to be a Smash Direct, and so it's... if they do a Smash Direct, they'd probably just like it'd probably just be all about Terry, detail Terry, show the music, the history of the stage, the cameos in the stage, his moveset, what each moveset does, how to combo it, Sakurai's gonna kick a computer's ass again. And then they might do another trailer, but at the same time, they showed Joker at Game Awards, so I don't know if they want to wait again or not.
No, I feel like they're gonna announce the character here and then release the character in Games Awards.
So so no, that I guess that this is a great segue into character predictions. Chris, who do you think is DLC Fighter 5?
Dude, I don't know. At this point, it could be literally anybody from any video game. So I'm just gonna like Jesus take the wheel. I'm just letting go, and whatever happens. I'll be excited. Characters I've always wanted. Minecraft Steve, get him in.
Wow.
I'm
Me
down.
too.
I'm down.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything. Go to someone else.
All right, Evan, what are your takes on a next Smash DLC?
Oh man, I was talking about this with Claire actually last night. At this point, it's kind of like Chris said, it's like a free for all. At this point, I'm just kind of like I'm in this state of constant excitement in announcement for the next character, because even if it's not something that I'm like the most familiar with, that's another thing I can add onto the backlog to eventually check out, because that I feel like was the original purpose of Smash Brothers. It's a celebration of all these things, all these properties that have, and at some point or another, had a special place in the hearts of these gamers that play this. So it's just, I'm honestly just excited to just see what else they can pull out of their hat, because the amount of third-party detail that's gone into just this first season alone has been phenomenal. Like, it's been fantastic. So I'm excited for whatever they have for the last character in this pack, and whatever they're going to do for season 2, which I am really interested about, because there was kind of like a third party is kind of like the given, since they've covered a lot of Nintendo stuff at this point. But part of me is just wondering now, even after this 5th fighter, where do we go? It's just like, where else do we go?
Add the moon to the game. Oh wait, no, the moon's already in the game. It's that trophy.
I was
Deconfirmed.
about to say, he's an assist trophy.
Dang. Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, we need our Overwatch character. I feel like that's happening.
Oh, I bet Blizzard's like at Sakurai's feet, like, please.
Sakurai, they're like, I mean, I'd love to, but Nintendo
Yo,
NYCC said, nah. So
Remember when Nintendo killed the Overwatch launch event on the Switch?
yeah, so
Yeah.
it may not be the
boy.
best time to.
Yo, put in May.
Oh, bro, she can freeze you. Like better ice climbers.
Actually, no, wait, put in Sub-Zero, but better freezer.
Oh, Mortal Kombat character, dude. That'd be
Put in a
kinda
Mortal
sick.
Kombat character. Put in Scorpion. I would love to see
Scorpion. Yeah, I mean,
Mortal Kombat 11 is a technical marvel on the Switch, just like Witcher.
It is.
it is.
And Mortal Kombat did put their staple in video game history.
Oh, and if we can delete one of the spots for our predictions, because one of them's going to a new Pokemon.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be.
I mean, I don't know if that'd be like. That's a tough one though, because it seems like they're pretty hit and miss with when they want to add a Pokemon or not. They've never done one for DLC. It's normally one per a new Pokemon per game kind of thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if Sakurai would do DLC for like paid DLC for Pokemon. It all depends on
Well,
which,
it's usually
which
like-
one's more
it's
popular.
It's usually like a Pokemon out during that like Smash or whenever a new Smash game comes out. So like Lucario was for like Brawl, and then Greninja was for Smash 4, and then
This one was Incineroar.
yeah. So I don't think there's gonna be a new Pokemon, but it'd be dope.
I feel like there has to be a Sword and Shield Pokemon, but that's just me. I don't know.
I think it evolved, the most likely would be Grookey with what its quote unquote ruined evolution is supposed to be.
It's Grookey.
And we don't have a single grass type Pokemon aside from Ivysaur in the game right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Ivysaur stays repping the only grass starter in the game. But Claire, I know you don't play a whole lot of Smash, but you love to spectate and you love to quote unquote be bad at the game. But if you could have any character, you could put any character in Smash. Claire, who's it gonna be?
Jotaro.
Hell
Yeah, okay, all right.
Hell yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Miku, but yeah, that
Yeah,
works
his
too.
name's Joker.
I have
They both can use stands.
I've thought about this before, and I genuinely would like to play as Minecraft Steve. I think at this point, put him in. He's iconic. He's legendary, and Minecraft did well on the Switch from what I've heard. So put him on. But just like how Chris was saying, it could literally be anyone, and honestly, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens, and I'll be fine with whatever it is, because again, I'm not that big into it. It is an exciting time right now, though, for Super Smash Bros. Because now that we have had so many new characters that aren't directly from Nintendo, it could be anyone. That's super exciting. Dreams are coming true.
I mean,
I just hope that it doesn't seem as special anymore. You know? That's the only thing that I feel. I don't really care that much when new people come out, because the roster is just getting so big from my perspective as a person who just plays it casually every once in a while. It's very overwhelming to me. So, even though this sounds awful, I hope maybe they add 5 more people and that's it. Until maybe they make another game, if they can force Sakurai to do it before he kills himself. Because when I look at it now, it's just all very overwhelming to me, and that kind of puts me off.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that take.
I feel like I'm only getting more and more excited. Like when I saw Sans Undertale, I think that was the most hype I've been for a character in Smash than I have for anything else.
Chris and our reaction with Chris. Chris and I watched. He's like, "Is that Megalovania?"
Yo, can we talk about Toby Fox for a second and how he's taking over Nintendo?
Oh my gosh, Toby Fox is Nintendo.
He's infiltrated Nintendo.
Oh my God.
He's the guy who has the uncle that works at Nintendo. Oh my god.
He is the uncle that
Toby
works at
Fox
Nintendo.
not only made music for Little Shit Hero, he also made music for Pokemon, as well as he's got a character. He played Smash Bros with Sakurai in this man's house, and Sakurai drove him home.
Incredible.
That's
Hey man,
They probably went to Five Guys too. Got it.
that was the power of his game, dude.
Newton, though. What are your predictions for Smash?
Rabbit said earlier, but I think Ryu has a chance. Ryu Hayabusa. But if I were to put in a character, it'd be my boy.
Yeah, you've been saying Dante for a minute, and I think Capcom will probably get another character at some point, but
I mean, they already have like Mega Man. Like who else?
Capcom's got Mega Man, Ryu, Ken.
So yeah, put another Capcom character. Put in Dante. Put in all of them.
Put in Dante, put in Monster Hunter, put on Leon, Chris, Wesker, bro. Throw on like 7 Resident Evil characters, bro.
7 Resident Evil games.
One for each game. Come on.
There's too many characters who use guns
Too
now.
many guns in this game.
I mean, we need Doom Guy.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
That'd be dope.
Master Chief. I mean,
Master
there's so
Chief
many.
is the one that would make me actually flip a table.
Yeah, put in Halo guy.
Hey, look.
Halo Guy.
We're gonna cut off New Type and now ask Rabbit of his opinion.
Yo, why haven't they put Metroid in the game yet?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Metroid's an
But-
assist trophy.
Yeah, but not the Omega Metroid.
We don't need that.
But yeah, in all seriousness, though, the characters I would like to see actually show up in Smash, the one I think will show up is the new character. I think the one with the biggest chance is probably Ryu Hayabusa. As I said, he was an NES staple back in the day, and they've sort of covered their basis on all NES characters in just base Smash Ultimate, yet left Ryu Hayabusa out. So I think he does have a chance of getting in. Now, if you're just wondering which ones I would like to have in there, aside from Ryu, because Ryu is awesome, I'd love to see, Albert Wesker get in there so we can have more villain representation
Yes.
in there. Plus, my God, Wesker is just awesome.
Yep.
He is horrible, but he's
Oh, he's
awesome.
a scumbag, but he's the greatest kind of scumbag.
Exactly. You just love to hate him.
If they do put in like Ryu Hayabusa, how is the announcer gonna handle? It's Ryu from Streets.
I could just see them calling him Hayabusa. That's what they call him.
Hayabusa.
Well, see, but people, you gotta keep in mind though, they also have two Roys in Smash.
And they just have the same name.
Same name. It's like you have Roy and you have Roy.
Oh, okay. That's true. Fair enough.
But yeah, to finish off the rest of my thoughts, though, ones I'd like to have in, aside from Wesker, I would like to see Rika from Phantasy Star 4 get in there, because Phantasy Star is one of my favorite JRPG franchises in general. It's top notch, really good, especially the fourth entry. And then, of course, I'd love to see the Adult Hat character get in there. Either Kite or Haseo. Haseo would be more fun to play in it, because Haseo's main gimmick in his own game is that he could switch weapons. He could go from twin blades to a scythe to a giant Buster Sword-sized chainsaw blade, some dual guns, and then he even got a whip longsword in the most recent entry.
So Monster Hunter.
That would be fun too, but no, Haseo would be cool because his final smash could be based off of a mode that he can go into, which is he can actually summon in the phase Skaith. And those modes in the GU games played exactly like Zone of the Enders. So big old flashy fights and everything like that. So the animation would just be amazing to go there and smash. I'd love to see it.
To go there and smash.
Yo, can we get Gundam in?
Oh my! So, how come that was on Japan's like?
I don't know.
What makes Gundam legal? Is that even legal? Because was Gundam not very first an anime?
Yes, it was.
Okay, because
It was.
I was so confused and I had hope. I was like, "What do you mean you want a Gundam?" And I do too, but that can't happen. Sakurai wrote the law.
So anyway, just replace the move of the Axis drop. Axis drop assist trophy.
Oh, New Type, you're making me excited, but it won't happen.
Move it along.
So let me quickly. I haven't listed who my take on it yet. So personally, I would love. See, this went really well in line with Doom Eternal coming out at the end of the month, but that's been pushed back. So I'd love it if it was Doom Guy. I hope it's Doom Guy. As for who I like to see, of course, the usual suspects like not Rex, just Pyra, Mithra, Adam. Always got to have that Nintendo love. I would love to see Ryu Hayabusa. I am on a huge Resident Evil kick, as everyone knows. I fell in love with it, the series. Thank you, Sensei.
You're welcome.
And Leon, my boy Leon Skennedy, that's my man. Just he can, his back throw could be the suplex. He has his gun. He's got it, bro. The knife. You cannot mess with that knife. And I don't know if they've ever given us assist trophies with DLC, but I would love a Mr. X assist trophy where he like pops out, he just snaps his neck and just starts aggressively walking towards you.
I mean, it'd literally be exactly the same as the Black Knight assist trophy.
Literally,
He just
except-
stomps menacingly close to
And
you.
every time you hear
murders
his footsteps, it makes the noise.
yes.
Add in, if you hit him, his hat falls off and he gets faster.
Oh no!
Oh wow.
If you're willing to make a sacrifice. I'd love to see Leon. Devil May Cry isn't my. I haven't gotten a chance to play any of the good ones, quote unquote, yet. But I do appreciate Dante and that lore, and Devil May Cry's got slamming music, so I am always down for more music gasms in Smash. Resident Evil doesn't really have like too many memorable tracks to the best of my knowledge, so I mean maybe they could do it like a 2-pack, get like some Dante and Leon, and yeah, you know how it go. Of course, I love Wesker as well, so I'd love to see Wesker. Capcom's got too many good characters. They got Devil May Cry, they got Resident Evil, they've got Monster Hunter now as well. All three of those in which I'd like to see. And Capcom does love Nintendo. Capcom's, I'm sure, is willing to give them anything, but it all depends on how people want to perceive it. I don't think we'd get any other Persona characters like from 3 or 4.
No, they're B costumes. They're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not happening, and 1 and 2 don't exist. So
wow.
I mean, we might see, depending if Shin Megami Tensei 5 actually exists, we might see the main character of that at some point, or maybe even Tokyo Mirage Sessions character. Oh, another Fire Emblem character.
They wouldn't do that.
We got Idol Morph over here.
Fun fact: I know a mutual that says that we should have more Fire Emblem characters. There's not enough of them.
Is it Bowser character?
More.
I agree.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset if there were more Fire Emblem characters, but I know a lot of other people would be.
Listen, it's paid
Yeah,
DLC.
I
If
mean,
you don't want it, don't
I
buy
know
it.
a lot of people would really appreciate that, given Three Houses has been one of, like, honestly, just the past. How long has that game been out now? 2 months? Or so?
About a month and a half, I would say.
Three Houses? Three Houses came out
Yeah.
July 26th.
Did it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been.
It's been out for a
Okay,
hot
I
minute.
forgot how long it's been. But it's
feel like
been a few months now. Honestly, it's been one of the most popular games of the year. Like,
It's about
Yeah.
to be the most high-selling Fire Emblem game of all time.
so I mean,
kind of
I
deserves it.
wouldn't be surprised to at least see some form of representation in there. I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
really wouldn't.
I think out of all the lords in Smash already, out of all the characters we have, I think Bayleth would be the coolest because Bayleth's sword is dope.
That whip is
like,
cool,
the
but
whip sword, like it's like
Watch me.
Sakurai has a hard on for just making Smash attacks longer and longer every chance he gets. Like in Smash 4 when he showed off Corrin, he was like, Corrin's forward smash is the size of 2 Lucases, and I was like, damn, okay. And then in
Poor child.
in Smash Ultimate, he's like, and the Belmonts can outrange Corrin, and I was like, oh dang, okay. And then when he showed off the assist trophy for arms, he's like, look at how long those arms stretch. And I'm like, buddy, what are you trying to say? And now Bayleth, you see how long that sword stretches?
So what you're saying is longer is better.
Longer is okay.
Size does matter.
You heard it here first,
Here we
ladies
go.
and gentlemen.
you heard it here first.
You heard it here
You
first.
hate to see it.
So we're gonna move past Smash now. Does anyone have anything final they wanted to say in regards to Smash?
Can we get Norman Reedus?
Did Norman Reedus start as a video game or a fetus?
Oh, that's fair point.
Just
Oh,
Norman
but-
Reedus from The Walking Dead. It's not even Death Stranding.
No, from
From Telltale's Walking Dead.
I mean, they got what's his name? Negan in Tekken.
Oh, they did, dude. Let's get Negan.
Let's get Negan.
He just bashes people's heads in with a barbed wire bat. That's his intro trailer.
Oh, okay, we're saying rabbit.
Well, what I was
I know
going to
people
say
would be
is,
okay with that.
what I was going to say is that since you were mentioning Capcom earlier, I thought about something immediately that is also a Nintendo staple that I completely forgot about. Strider from
Oh, Harry Strider. I think
Strider.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he'd
feel like
fit well in there too.
I feel like Okami would have a better chance than Strider.
I would like
Maybe.
And it's
No,
getting
no.
a sequel, so
Oh, it is.
that
That's
could very well happen. That would be very fun.
Put in
I would
good
like
job.
that. I would play Okami. I would absolutely play Okami.
Played a bit in MVC3, and I was like, I don't understand why this thing is so good.
It's a god.
Oh, but last character that I just remembered, Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
Oh, we haven't had a Soul Cal. We haven't had
Ooh.
Bro, okay, yeah, no, Rabbit
damn, there's
just
so many good
jogged,
characters.
just jogged my
Yeah.
mind because
So many good
Bandai Namco's helped develop the last 2 Smash games, being Smash 4, 3DS, and Ultimate, and we don't have. I think Pac-Man's the only one we have from their company. Bro, they have Tales of, they have God Eater, they have Code Vein now. They've got all the anime games that aren't legal. They've got, like Rabbit was saying, they've got. I think Bandai Namco's Dot Hack. I think
Yep.
maybe. Yep, they've got them. and as well as SoulCal. SoulCal being the most like obvious one because Link was in SoulCal 2, and Nintendo does not lend out their IPs to anyone.
Not anymore.
That's wild. Okay, yeah, I would love SoulCal.
Mhm.
Someone said Phoenix Wright would be cool. Yeah, Phoenix Wright. I never knew how to play Phoenix Wright in MVC3. I just kept throwing desks and papers. Moving on though, Luigi's Mansion 3 has been out
Yes.
for a whole of 3 days.
Oogie.
Yeah. I can't really speak much to this because I don't own it. I've seen the reviews. Apparently, you can play the entire game co-op, which is a nice addition. Unfortunately, to me though, it looks a little bit more like 2 and less like 1. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. I'll probably end up borrowing it from a friend, seeing how I mesh with it, how I vibe with it. I'll let Rabbit take this away though, because I know Rabbit's been playing it like crazy.
Oh yeah, dude, it's good. Screw the critics. This right here is a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes, because while you can't do multiplayer on the story right out the bat, that's unlocked as soon as you get Gooigi, but you can get him in about 10, 15 minutes if you're going slow. But yeah, the game, it doesn't quite have the exact same atmosphere the first one had. That is correct. But for every bit of atmosphere that isn't there, they've made up for it with a whole bunch of charm. And it's just, everything feels good. There's still some things that'll spook you every once in a while because you're not expecting it. The ghosts have designs they still got the vibrant colors of Dark Moon, but their design is more similar to Luigi's Mansion 1. At least the boss ghosts and the key ghosts, stuff like that. There are still the basic grunt ones that are blue, but even they're more detailed than they used to be. And it's just, the game is good. The multiplayer in it, I have not had a single issue of lag when I play it. At all. The frame rate has never dipped. And that's both on the local multiplayer and online. In full-on 8-player multiplayer. It's just, the game is well made, and a lot of people who just said, oh, it looks like the second one, not the first one, I'm going to sleep on it, they're missing out.
I just felt called out, but now I got to play the game. Okay.
As you should be.
So Chris, how do you feel? Does this game make you feel all gooey inside?
Although I don't have it, I do really like it. I've been watching a lot of stuff about it, and I think it does make me feel gooey inside. It's so cute in like a scary way, but it's cute as well. Luigi's one of my favorite Mario characters. He's great. I just love to see him in things. My only complaint was that I wish this game came out like a week earlier instead of the day of Halloween, because I would like to play it in like those Halloween vibes. But that's just a weird nitpick.
That's fair. Evan, do you have any strong feelings towards this game? Does it make you feel gooey?
In a sense, I feel really happy because I've played Luigi's Mansion through a friend of mine that always lived across the street when I was a small child. Like, we always used to play it on our shared consoles. Sometimes we would trade the game back and forth because we didn't feel like, we were like, we don't need to buy it separately. We live right across the way. We'll just trade games and shit. So like so in that way, I felt like we were always like talking about it, but we were never really like playing it together that much. So I feel like now that we both have even though we both have a Switch, the co-op that this game lends itself to might lead to some good times and take us back through memory lane, which is always something I adore. I love feeling that sense of nostalgia. So I'm more than happy to consider picking up this game. I've had my eye on it for a little while, and it looks good. It looks pretty good. So I'm not at all disappointed, really, by everything I've seen and heard from others. Not at all disappointed.
All right, okay. So, Claire, is Luigi's Mansion a smash or a pass?
Smash. Definite smash.
Luigi's just so
So-
hot.
So I know this sounds awful, but I never had a GameCube. I did not grow up with one. My first video game anything was a Leapster, and then I got a DS Lite in the second grade to play Pokemon fucking Pearl. Oh, can I say that word on YouTube? I don't know. Okay. So I don't have any experience with it other than just watching gameplay. And oh, you know what? I lie. The local arcade near me called Round One has an awesome Luigi's Mansion arcade cabinet that you can play. Not a cabinet, but it would be a more, I don't know the term for it. It's a booth that you can go into, you sit down, and then you can use the vacuums. It's wonderfully made to pretty much just play the game. So I never got all the way with that just because I would have to keep paying every time I died. But it does seem to be very wonderful, and it's something that would be very fun to stream as well. So probably won't get it right away just because I'm trying my best to save money on games and wait until they come out at my local library so I can rent them. So when that happens, then I would love to play it because I enjoy Luigi more than.
Wow. Okay. She likes
Claire's a real gamer. She started off playing Leapster.
I would say, low key, we had a Leapster once, and we had like 2 cheesy games for it. But I remember when my mom picked up that Leapster for my little brother, and she's like, "What games do you think she'd like?" I saw Sonic X, and I was like, "Mom, he'd like that one." And she was like, "Oh, you mean this game that is like educational or something?" I was like, "No, that's BS. He wants Sonic X. I want Sonic X, Mom." She didn't buy Sonic X.
That's a shame.
New type though. You're switchless, so your opinion doesn't matter. But go on.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
We love you.
I mean, it looks good. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fun fact, my first interaction ever with the first Luigi's Mansion, I think I told the story once before, but the McDonald's in my area had a bunch of video games set up, like Mario Kart Double Dash, Luigi's Mansion, Melee. And I just go over there while Mom was ordering food and get a Happy Meal, would eat my burger, would sit in there for like hours, and then it got to the point where I was just playing the game all the time, and I asked Mom if we could get it, and she said nope, and I said okay. But then we rented it from Blockbuster. I had it for like 3 days, and then I never saw it again really, and then 1 year for Christmas we got it, and then I kind of fell in love with it. Overall, Rabbit, you said the online was solid, like as in like no lag.
Yeah.
You said
I've never had an issue with lag.
It was like the only Nintendo games you'll never find lag in is like Splatoon, and that's all I can count on. That's wild. I might have to double up my my budget on this game. But now we've only got a few topics left. So Nintendo mentioned they want to bring more 3DS series and franchises to the Nintendo Switch. What are some of those games on the 3DS that you guys would love to see make it over to the Switch? So, Chris, let's start off with you.
oh boy, I didn't think I'd be first. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
All
Pass.
right, so Evan, let's start with you.
Kid Icarus Uprising, please.
Yes, God.
Yes.
Wow, all right, that's
Kid
unanimous.
Icarus Uprising, hands down, one of my favorite video games on the Nintendo 3DS. Amazing writing for Nintendo standards. The voice acting, top tier. Gameplay, hella fun. Sakurai did a great job. And like with most other projects he touches, it's just one of those games that has so much great heart to it. And I've been dying for either a port or maybe some kind of sequel to make its way over to the Switch, just because I feel like Kid Icarus really does. Kid Icarus Uprising especially just really deserves it. Like that game was great. It was so fun. It's been, I think, 6 years now since it was released. That was one of the, if I recall correctly, that was one of the first big Nintendo 3DS launch titles. I would love to see it make a return.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Claire. What about what are some 3DS games you'd love to see?
Evan, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I appreciate the passion, because that's what they're looking for. I think, well, actually, I do see a certain type of Kid Icarus artwork online quite often, but people don't really talk about the games anymore. So that's what they want to see. That is what will get the games onto the Switch. So keep voicing your opinion on that. My main thing is that I'd like to get games on the Switch that not as many people played. So, I mean, in terms of general audience, not many people know what Bravely Default is. And
I was about to mention
Right.
that.
so if those came to the Switch, they would do super well. And then I'm also interested in them just doing collections, similar to how they did an NES collection. You know, that did really well. So do collections of older Pokemon games, collections of older Zelda games, and maybe make it, for doing something like Pokemon Ultra Sun Moon, they wouldn't put that in a bundle, but I'm talking the older Pokemon games, probably anything black and white and down, even
Pokemon
though
Pinball.
it's not too old, but and that would be wonderful. I would pay maybe $60, $70 to get a bunch of games at once for one price. And I think a lot of other people would too. And the last thing is Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, because I just want to get to play that again, and I don't have it anymore. And I just want to buy it again and listen to the soundtrack, because that was a lovely game.
Correct.
Now, Claire, those are some stellar ideas. In terms of a Zelda
Stellar.
collection, I honestly think we'll see a Wind Waker Twilight Princess collection at some point. But Pokemon would never do that because Pokemon has their own timeline of remaking games. The most I think we could see, digital only, of course, would be maybe Red, Blue, or Gold, Silver, Crystal. Because the Nintendo doesn't do a whole lot of, they do collections for their stupid old games, but not anything past this. We've never had a N64, GameCube, or Game Boy collection, have we? Not that I can think of.
Not that I know now.
So I mean, I'd love to see it, but if they had a collection that had black and white and all the ones before that, that'd be a $300 collection.
I would probably pay that. But that's almost the same price as a used Switch. What they really need to keep going for is just nostalgia. So this is a different angle, but earlier when I was talking about The Witcher, I said we're looking for what Dad would want to play. Well,
green card.
we're now at a point where parents grew up with Pokemon, so they're going to buy their favorite childhood game on the Switch if they put it on there. If I remember correctly, they had a package for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with 2DSs. I actually have the Ruby one. It was a clear 2DS, or whatever you call those. And that sold very well with the millennial demographic. So if they just keep doing that, it's a good cash grab, and I would happily pay for it.
Newtek, did you say somewhere in there a green card?
What? No, it said Sangren Kagura.
Oh, okay.
I heard green card as well.
See, I heard what would Dad buy? You said I heard him say a green card, and I was like, what?
I think Cinnamon Conqueror sounds worse.
Anyway, speaking of niche games, we should bring over to the Nintendo Switch. How about Super Robot Wars UX and BX? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it's obscure, not gonna happen, but
Obscure,
yes.
niche. Japan loves it.
Localize it, please.
Localize it.
Or even just Singapore it. I don't know. I don't care, man. I'd pay for
Put
it.
it in. I don't care. Just put it in. Other than that, maybe some of the Persona Q games. I think that would work well for the Switch pad.
Agreed. Just get more Persona onto Nintendo. Even though, obviously it was on 3DS, but a lot of people didn't play those games, and especially now, because Persona 5 more or less is really the most popular Persona ever, and it's gotten tons and tons of people in it. If they can get people to play their backlog, it will only make more money for them, so why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. Rabbit, you got any 3DS obscure 3DS games lined up that you want to see on Switch?
Obscure? Well, I do have a few obscure, but first I'm going to parrot again and say, I'm going to parrot one thing again and say, yes to Kid Icarus Uprising. That is by far the best written game on 3DS.
There you go. There it
And
is.
honestly, as Evan said, the voice acting in that is superb. If you have not heard Hades' voice actor from Kid Icarus Uprising, you are missing out.
Fantastic performance. And just, I don't know. There's something about Pitt's voice actor. The way he just makes Pitt sound, where it's just like, I can't die yet. I never learned how to read. It's so good. That game is fantastic to listen to. It's even fun to watch. Like, you're hearing that dialogue through the tight gameplay. Like, you don't go wrong in any way. Soundtrack is also phenomenal.
Yeah, agreed. And imagine those songs being upscaled from the compressed version that's on the handheld version, with the 3DS, being actual full HD sound on those music pieces. That'd be amazing.
You wouldn't hear from me for a little while.
Yeah, I know. People wouldn't hear from me for a while either, especially with Dark Pit's theme. Oh, yes.
Oh, so good.
That Spanish guitar? Oh!
Mm-hmm. But yes, as to the obscure games, though, there's a set of obscure games I'd like to see on there, as well as some not-so-obscure ones. But I'd love to see them do a combination pack of the Project Crosstone games, including a brand-new translated version of Namco Cross Capcom, because that's actually the first Crosstone game.
Yo, I'm down with it.
That's fire.
I would love... Yeah. I never got a chance to play Project Crosstone 1, but I heard it had Sanger Zanvelt in it, and that was enough for me to be like, I need to play this game now.
Yeah. It's just... The cross games are really good, and it's a strategy game mixed with a fighting game. It's just great. But then, as for games that aren't obscure that I'd like to see on there, I'd like to see the Fire Emblem games that 3DS ported over, because Shadows of Valentia is the best written Fire Emblem to date, in my opinion. I haven't finished the
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Shadows of Valentia is amazing.
Yeah. Then, of course, Fire Emblem Fates, just make it a full... No, make it the undubbed version, which is already translated. Granted, they won't do that because... Well, I'll get into that off camera.
Wait, hold on. Before you continue, do you guys remember? I think it was 2 years ago, when the Switch had first come out, the summer the Switch had come out. There was a rumor leak on Amazon Germany of a Fire Emblem Fates complete pack, and the response to that was not pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if they did bring Fates to Switch, it'd need to be a complete pack. That way, there's no excuse not to have all three routes on the same card.
That way you can finally touch your waifus.
Yeah.
That's staying in Japan.
Yeah, that's definitely probably staying in Japan. Though, to be fair, the people in Japan said that was the most annoying part because it took up too much time.
Buddy. Can we trade?
But yeah, I would like to see that come out as well, because it'd be really nice. But most importantly, Fire Emblem Awakening upscale to use rendered models similar to
yes. Give the characters feet.
Oh, give Severo with feet.
Let me see them.
Now, here's what I'd say. Because Koei Tecmo did a good job on making the models for Warriors, have them make the models for a re-release of Fire Emblem Awakening.
That'd be cool.
Severo feet.
And it'd be nice, because that could be one that's actually got full cell shading, because right now, Three Houses, the one thing I'm a little iffy on is that's not really cell shaded. It's got some natural light shading on it, which does bug me a little bit. But in the end, I just like to see a bunch of games for 3DS come up. There's even one game I never got to play, which was the Final Fantasy version of Monster Hunter. Can't remember what it's called, but it was essentially Final Fantasy Monster Hunter, and I'd love to play that.
Wait. Explorers?
Yes, that's it.
That game had really good online from what I saw.
Actually, you know what game I want to see? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
That too?
We'll probably get a Mystery Dungeon
That would be
entry on the Switch.
wonderful. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, in the end, they just need to bring as many games as they can from 3DS to the Switch.
I would say, if Nintendo ever finds themselves being like, I don't know what to put on the Switch today, just look at a back catalog.
Really?
Yep.
As for me, games I'd like to see from 3DS moved over. Virtual Console, anyone? 3DS had Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Switch does not look like it's going to ever have Virtual Console. It's amazing how something we took so far for granted we now keep begging for. As well as I never played the LBX games, but I've seen enough of them to be like, those look fun. Those could be cool on console. What else? The Dragon Ball Fusions game. Dragon Ball Fusions was kind of cool. Just mindless little fun there. Of course, like there's the Pokemon games, but I think those probably get remade eventually. Because after Black and White, we're getting those X and Y remakes, baby. Just think about that.
Oh, that won't be for a while.
That's gonna be for a little bit. Maybe then they'll do more with Zygarde. Maybe they could. What was that? What was the Metal Gear game they had on 3DS?
Oh,
Snake Eater?
Twin Snakes 3D.
Snake Eater. Maybe they had both.
They had Snake Eater. I don't think Solid or Twin Snakes ever came to 3DS.
Okay.
Yeah, I only saw
The
Snake
one I
Eater.
know for sure is Snake Eater.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Snake Eater.
I'd love to see Persona Q. I think Persona Q now is just naturally going to move over. I'd love if Persona 6 was a Nintendo exclusive and Nintendo just fully snatches all the rights from Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
I think Sony holds on to the Persona rights a little too hard right now. So because Persona's been on only Sony consoles aside from the spin-offs. So
Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Xbox?
No, I was saying I don't think it was on Xbox.
Oh yeah, okay. And what else? Persona. I just want one more re-release of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Make it a combo pack and make it the definitive edition of both.
Ooh, I'd love that.
Make a
That'd be
definitive
so nice.
edition because the 3DS version is the best way to play Ocarina of Time, in my opinion. Because like the menus, you can micromanage on the bottom screen. You have the map. The water temple is so much easier because you can actually because in Ocarina of Time on 3D on the N64, you had to hit pause and unequip and re-equip your iron boots every time you wanted to sync. In 3DS, you tap a button. That's it. So that's what I'd like to see on 3DS. Moving forward. Let me find my topics again. Anyone else wanted to say why Scramble?
I want Samus Returns. I think that'd be cool.
Thank you. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only Metroid games on the Switch are the original Metroid games, 1 and 2, I think. Like,
I mean, to be fair, we are getting 4. It's just when we're getting 4 is to be decided.
Yeah, we're getting Prime eventually, and they're gonna save like any sort of like Prime bundle or whatever until they're much closer to finishing 4. So we're not gonna get that for a while. So I mean, give us Samus Returns and maybe do another remake of an old Samus game on the Switch, like HD.
Fusion.
That'd be cool.
Federation Force?
Actually, that game's pretty fun.
Apparently Federation Force was good. It's just, if you're a Metroid fan and you wanted Metroid Prime 4, you're going to hate Federation Force, because it's not that. But apparently it's a good standalone game. That apparently the ending of Federation Force ties into Prime 4, which made people even more mad, because they're like, why are you giving this game time of day? But apparently it was a really fun co-op game with your friends, because it was fully online co-op, and you could all do missions together.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to dig up my
Player
3DS
co-op.
if anyone's out here. If New Type, I know you still got your 3DS if you're trying to play that Federation Force. Rabbit, Chris, yeah, you all trying to play
I
Federation
don't
Force?
have it.
No, Chris, no. All right,
I would join you on that, but my 3DS's circle pad is dead.
New Type, what's your excuse?
I'm poor.
Damn it. Okay.
That's a logical excuse.
All right, we're going to move forward now to the last topic we have for the night. The Pokemon Sword and Shield starter evolutions have leaked. You guys can find the image in the general tab. I have it marked as a spoiler. So these are what appear to be our final evolutions. Yeah, we are Sobble Squad. All day, we're Sobble.
Oh god, Sobble Squad took a hit today. Sobble Squad took a big hit. I'll probably just play through and not evolve Sobble. I did that before with Piplup when I was a kid, so I mean...
What's wrong with Empoleon?
Nothing, I just love Piplup a lot. I think it's the cutest Pokemon ever, so I had to keep it.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to do the same way, but I couldn't beat the first gym and back in those days when as Piplup. But the second I evolved, I was able to pull through. But I was still sad that I had to evolve that Piplup.
It's tragic. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep Sobble. What this thing? I don't even know what its name is. Never heard of it. Never seen it. Yo, but can we talk about Rillaboom? Was it Rillaboom?
Let's talk about my
That is
boy.
the coolest looking Pokemon I've seen in a while.
He said, "I'm gonna skip all that nonsense. Go straight to Super Saiyan 3."
After having the Raging out earlier this month, I'm just afraid of this thing.
Can we say that we can almost have a full team of monkeys?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, you really can, because you've got all the monkeys from Gen 5. You've got this guy. That's 4.
You got Primate.
Primate
You
Oranguru.
got Pessis. I always forget his name. Pessis. The other monkey from
Pessimian?
Gen 7.
Pissimian and
yes.
Oranguru. You've got Beartic, Ursaring. No, those are monkeys. Hold on, those are bears.
Those are bears.
I
Wrong species.
I caught myself halfway, and I was like, "This isn't."
You can have Infernape.
Yep.
Yeah, the Infernape line is really cool. I love all of those.
A lot of monkeys. Yeah, full team of monkeys.
Actually, yeah, let me. I'm gonna put this image on the screen. If you guys don't want to be spoiled, I just say just turn this, just tab out of the stream for the next little bit. I'm gonna just slot this on here so people can have context as to what we are talking about. You know, if someone comes into the stream right now, like just out of nowhere, just to check in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Pokemon spoilers! What have you done? My eyes, my leg!"
I mean, to be fair, I'm not even sure what you're talking about because I've been keeping myself away from the evolutions here.
The evolutions. Okay, so Rav, just tab out for a minute here. So yeah, these are the evolutions. All the fan art of the Sobble evolution now, bro.
Oh, I can't wait for all the porn to come out of this.
No.
Dude, what's it called? What is Cinderace? That is furry
Yeah.
bait.
That's kind of we are streaming. It's let's just say Rabbit, you've made the right choice. You've made the right choice.
Okay.
Bro, we are streaming, bro.
Listen,
Overall-
all I say is if you have a favorite starter, you go ride or die. You don't change your choice. You
I
take your
Exactly.
I
first
purchased
choice, ride or die.
purchased a Sobble Squad T-shirt and it arrived 2 days ago. This is unfortunate, but we are still Sobble Squad. We will sink, burn, die, and be resurrected 100 years later, just like in Part 3.
So, are you going to be playing Near My God to Thee on the violin while you go down?
It hurts, man. That shit sucks, dude. Honestly, I might just have someone Wonder Trade me a Score Bunny so I can have, because I think I'll probably play the game twice. Once with the Water Fire starters, and then I'll probably do another one with Grookey. But
You know, I'll do you one better, Blake. I'll do you one better. If I catch a Ditto and stuff, I will breed you a Score Bunny.
aw, that's so nice of you. We have it on camera now. If you don't fall through, we find you, we burn you. Okay.
All right.
So overall, though, what's our general opinion on these guys? New Type is clearly happy with his choice, unfortunately. Chris, how are we feeling? What's the vibe check at the Sobble Squad right now?
Yeah, listen, I'm just not evolving him. We're all good. He looks like a guy that'll
Okay.
like sell you like really bad weed outside
Oh,
your
no.
high school.
Oh God! Now I have that image in my
agree.
head. Oh God.
See, no, he's the guy that sells it. Rillabon's the bouncer, and Cinderace is the one that baits the cops. We got a whole drug squad here. Claire, how do you how you feel about the Pokemon?
So, I think I'm going to go for Grookey. I am always disappointed with the third evolutions nowadays. I believe we were talking about this the other day, but as a kid, I didn't really care. I thought it was all cool. But now, from a perspective of just, I'm playing these games on a whim and I don't always play them, I do care about the third evolutions, and I do care about the aesthetic that they take for the Pokemon because I don't like it when they're gross. I just don't like it when they're gross. Like Emboar. I hated that. I was gonna go for Tepig, and then they made Emboar look like that. I went, no, that's disgusting.
Honestly, I think
Bye.
it
He looks like
think
the fat
Ember-
bastard from a Dojin.
I think
Exactly.
I think Embor's the weakest link out of the Gen 5 stars. I always name my Embor's Ganon because he's Pig Boy.
You know, I feel like I'm the only one who actually loves all the stars except Delphox. But I honestly think all these stars are pretty good. I like them all.
Click.
So I'm probably, I mean, I liked Grookey from the beginning, and I had to look at it for a little bit, but I like his third evolution. He's just a big guy that protects you. And I like Scorbunny too. I don't know what the middle Evo is going to look like, but it's the safest bet. And, you know, when you pick the fire starter, you pretty much know that you're going to be okay for the entire game. So
I want to see
I may
Pig
just end
Fennekin.
up going with that.
Oh, Claire, if I could ask you a favor.
Hmm.
If you do go with Grookey, from what I'm hearing, could you name it Rajang and then go hands with Blake on
Nope.
Pokemon after
Nope.
fully evolved?
Nope.
I'll do you one better. I'll name it Reggie.
I'll say you know new type for a fact. He's gonna go buy a Switch Lite tomorrow just to do this. My man's broke, but he's about to expense himself a Switch Lite somehow. Evan, are you picking up Pokemon, my guy?
I'd say probably. I want to. I just have to take into account of other things that I have coming up pretty soon, so we'll have to see. But I definitely do have interest in this game, and based on these starters and their final evolutions that we're looking at, well, I have a friend that's he's been, as he likes to say, he's been hashtag Grookey Gang this whole time. So he's super happy to be content with the final evolution we're seeing in front of us. Sobble, too bad we went full Randall on this last evolution. Feels bad. However, I felt like with the look of the first form and the last one here on this little screen, this little screen cap we have, I kind of am digging the look of the Scorbunny line as well. I kind of like, I don't know. There's some of them I don't gravitate toward. Maybe it's me having an affinity for fire type lines, possibly, but I just kind of really, I don't know. I just think bunnies are cute, and fire bunnies, that's good. And that final form doesn't look terrible from this screenshot. Although I wouldn't be mad at, and I wouldn't judge anybody for picking any starter for that matter. But I feel like I would completely understand why someone would have Grookey as well. It's solid. There's nothing too terribly wrong with that pick, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just realized probably the reason why I like Scorbunny is because that picture, if it is real, looks like King Cosma from the movie Summer Wars, and that was a
Oh.
Wow, he actually does look
That's why.
That's a good ass movie too. You know
Oh.
what? Now I'm gonna
That's a deep
name
cut.
it Cosma.
That's a
Damn
deep
it! Good job.
Yeah, that was a great Digimon movie.
Yeah, it was. Good.
Damn it, Rabbit.
It basically is a Digimon movie.
It is Digimon the movie.
specifically.
It is.
See, now Claire, you know what you've done. Now, if I play this game and have that, that's going to be the name for the line. You already know. That's it. Yeah, I think you've done it for me.
Probably that's what I'm gonna do too.
You
There
know.
you go.
I'll probably nickname
know.
mine N Hentai, but what were you saying, you said?
Anyway, you know, everyone hated like Greninja's design when it first was revealed. So I feel like everyone's gonna turn around on these stars, and even if they hate them, they're gonna turn around. They'll be fine. They'll all be popular. Everyone's gonna love them.
Honestly, that's why I'm kind of like holding back a little bit because I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about these when they're finally.
I
seen in
have a
motion.
friend right now who saw the final evolution of Saba, and she loves her new emo son. Her sassy emo son.
Bro, he kind of looks like Yusuke though. Overall, though, it is interesting that they all chose to go with pure typing.
Yeah.
That hasn't been that since like what, Gen 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
that was the only time.
You know,
That was the only
all
time
I
they
was
all-
saying, I was saying if Scorbunny is not firefighting, I'll respect it. It's not firefighting, so we're fine. I'm very pleased with that. But we can wrap it up now with everyone's individual topics now, provided no one else has anything else they want to say on Pokemon.
I'm good.
We're all
I
good.
don't
You game
think
for
so.
life.
Good. Hope excited for the game.
All right, cool. So this is the part of the podcast where everyone brings their own topics or something they'd like to discuss. I will lead us off by saying, so the next generation. So let's suppose you guys have kids, little cousins, nephews, nieces, etc. Someone who looks up to you, someone who you look after, someone who you mentor. How would you get them into gaming? Would you start them out retro, like from the SNES or NES, whatnot, and then work their way up, or would you just dive right into the modern stuff?
I'm gonna throw him Ninja Gaiden and see how much he likes it.
You types that uncool uncle with a really nice TV.
No, wait. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a Tekken and like just throw him off a cliff. Just yeah.
Did you just say do a Tekken and throw him off?
Yeah,
the cliff?
but like just give him a really hard game to see what happens.
Yeah, that's gonna be that uncool uncle. Chris, what about you?
I'm gonna give him cultured.
Could you like say it like one more time?
So, more or less, you have someone who looks up to you, like a little cousin, possibly, like maybe you have your own kid, a niece, a nephew, and you want to get them into gaming. Would you start them out retro so they have an appreciation for the classics, or would you just start them right in the modern stuff?
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm kind of living that with my little sister. She is 8 at the moment, and I've been trying to indoctrinate her into both anime and into video games.
Very
But
good.
really, it's just we just play a lot of games that's like co-op that you can play together. I mean, and couch co-op is like a thing of the past. I was talking with you about that, Blake, and how awesome it was that Resident Evil still had like co-op, like couch co-op that you could sit and plug in another computer. So I mean, another controller.
We had to plug in another computer because I didn't have any online, but that's a sore spot. Go on.
But yeah, I'm just saying that like so many things just don't have couch co-op anymore, but old games do. So that's why I do old games. So you can play with that person. They love that. I mean, like kids love if they look up to someone, they love to spend time with you. So doing that kind of thing is awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely vibe with that. Evan, what about
Wait.
new type? What?
Wait, no, Chris, delete all those.
Oh,
Okay, so Evan.
No, the spoiler
one.
tabs.
This is a cool discussion topic
I'm
for me,
sorry,
Blake.
Chris.
Given the fact that I have very specifically a 9-year-old younger cousin, and she is the cutest thing in the world. I love that girl to death, and she loves spending time with me. She'll make all kinds of excuses to just be like, I want to go see Evan and his sister, and my uncle will sometimes just bring her over, and I feel like I'm living a part of my past again because my uncle was the one who gave me like his PS2 to have as my very first like video game console, and now I'm like playing video games with his daughter on my PlayStation 4 sometimes, whether it's like because I've also like Chris does with his sister, I've indoctrinated her into the world of anime, and she watches all kinds of stuff on Netflix as well. She's a big fan of Little Witch Academia and stuff like that. So like I would love to play like Lego games with her. I've played a couple of Anime Arena Fighters with her, like I played J-Stars with her before. I've even had her play like Little Big Planet 3 and Journey before. We have some good time just kind of doing while it's not like considered, they're not classic games necessarily, I feel like they're close enough aesthetically to the kind of things that both of us can find enough common ground on that we just kind of like we just have fun, and I feel like that's the most important thing for a kid to do, just have some fun with playing video games, maybe co-op with like you said, the person you respect or adore.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Claire, what about you?
I've had multiple experiences of talking with parents in particular about how they introduce games to their kids. And then also, because I've been to a lot of conventions, I have actively seen what the best thing to do. Because I've seen so many times where there'll be a family, everybody's cosplaying, the kids are so not into it, but they're forced to be Pikachu and Eevee or something, and they look like they're sick. They have a cold, but their parents say, no, we have to go to the convention. We have to go to the game room and go to the Pokemon game show. You know, and the kids are not into it at all. And then it essentially just becomes the same thing as forcing your kid to be in sports, forcing your kid to go to gymnastics or to be a ballerina. So it has to come naturally by fostering a love for it in a way that isn't forceful. So I really enjoyed, sorry for repeating the story for those of you who are at the stream, but I really enjoyed a family that said that they play Legend of Zelda for about 30 minutes every night to help their son go to sleep. And it's been really wonderful because the boy enjoys solving problems, and really it's all just about the curiosity, helping their curiosity. And you can also use games from an aspect of, similarly to that example, helping to calm kids down. So the same way you can put kids in front of ASMR and they enjoy it, there are lots of great games that just help them to focus, help them to calm down, depending on what it is you're doing. So I would say something like that, doing, we're going to have adventure night tonight before bedtime, or every Friday is when the whole family plays video games, something like that. It just makes it fun, and as long as you're engaging with them, then they'll love it too.
Okay, and you said?
Well, you said it like what game I would introduce to them. It would probably be like, well, what would you consider like a modern, like, let's say like,
I'd say anything on like current like PS4, Xbox hardware, like Xbox Switch, stuff like that.
yeah, I would just give them like just like regular like platformer games like Mario Odyssey, or something like to ease them in, but like not like forever to like actually beat. Because as a kid, one of the worst things was like never actually beating the game because you never know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like something like just simple and easy to get into, or maybe something just like repetitive like Minecraft, where nothing is really, you just play as much as you want, there's no real goal, and then you just have fun. That's about it.
So just something like
And then like
super...
once they're older, I would introduce them to like more things that I was into, and then see where it goes from there.
See, when you said games that aren't like overly long, games that are like pretty straightforward, so you don't get lost, I was like, Sonic Forces is 2 hours long.
I mean, actually, that would be a perfect game for a kid. Honestly,
Create your OC, play with Sonic.
Create your OC, play Sonic. Just short, simple game.
On that note, Rabbit, what would you introduce the next generation to?
Well, it'd have to be someone else's next generation. You don't want me having one; the world will end. But the type of game I'd actually start anyone off with, believe it or not, I'd actually go all the way back to the Sega Genesis, because the perfect game to start someone off on, and I want you all to hear me out before you... Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The reason why is because the Sonic games have always been very simple in concept. You go from left to right, and you can use any of the buttons to do the exact same options. It's just one button does all. However, there's enough of a challenge there to where they won't feel like they're just walking through everything. They'll actually have fun being able to learn, if I do this, I get rewarded with this. And also, then there's also a little bit of a technical aspect to it that's not necessary, but is neat to learn and will help kids feel excitement from, exploring what they can do themselves with the spin dash. It's a very simple thing, but it's just a game that's so simple, yet at the same time complex enough that will help kids love what they're doing.
There is a bit of a... I will kind of agree with that. I think that there is some kind of catharsis also from kind of growing while playing a game like that, as I feel like I don't know how many of you guys had, for example, on the GameCube, like the Sonic Genesis or Mega collections, but like that was my exposure to games like Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, etc. Right? Like, so like in that way, I felt like even when I was, let's say, 6 years old, playing that on my GameCube, I confess that I definitely was still trying to just see what I could do with the spin dash and not doing very well with it. But even now, as I play games like Sonic Mania, it's so easy to jump into that like it's second nature, because I feel like I've become better at like intuitively figuring out video games because of those mechanics that people can just get a handle on if they even as a young person all those years ago. So I completely feel where you're coming from.
Okay, yep. As for me, I think Rabbit makes a fantastic point. Sonic 2, a lot of people even today will tell you that like Sonic 2 is one of their first platformers, and for good reason. Like it is really simplistic in design. You have a jump button and you run. That's all you do. That's a pretty good starting point. So I would also backpack off that idea. Maybe even Sonic 1, like just the collection in general, and then go a little bit upwards. But also as soon as like they start showing like initiative, or like if they ever want to see like a good game to start off, like a good, I'm saying a lot of words. Like a good, whenever they get mature enough to follow a narrative to a story, I wouldn't start them off with anything like Final Fantasy or anything like that. I think that's a bit much, but something that like my gateway into very strong narrative driven games was Ocarina of Time. And I think on the Nintendo 64 at the time, it was a huge step forward to be able to have this massive explorable world, to have a day and night cycle as well for that world. So Ocarina of Time is another great game that I would also start someone off with. But I think that's going to do it for my topic. So Chris, what is your topic for the week?
Oh, right. I just want to talk about Death Stranding. And it basically the review copies have come out and all of that. So I just wanted to know what people's thoughts were on the game. If they think they're interested in it, will they get it? Is Kojima a madman who's selling us a walking simulator?
Yes.
so
I hope so.
What should we start with Evan?
Hang on, you cut out a little bit on my end. What was that? What was the question?
Just what do you think about Death Stranding? It's been out to the reviewers now. It's going to be out in like 5 days. Just general thoughts.
Death Stranding. That's kind of interesting. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it, mainly because I didn't have my eye on that one too close. It was just kind of like something I would see flashing along different live streams. And yesterday, I believe I mentioned this to Blake and Sosuke, but when I was just scrolling on Twitter, I think I accidentally liked one of PlayStation's like tweets while I was just scrolling, and I got a notification later that would be like, they added me. They're just like, "Thanks for the heart. There's still time to pre-order Death Stranding at the PS store." So I got to see the baby again. So that's never not an entertaining image, even if it kind of makes my eyes widen still to this. I still can't believe that hasn't lost its like effect on me of just feeling, what the hell am I looking at? You know, like that feeling is still there whenever I see that freaking baby. But
absolutely,
honestly, from what I hear though, the game's been okay. Like, so anybody that's excited for it, have as much fun as you can, and don't let anyone else's opinion be, just easily be yours. Be sure to play it and stand firm in your perspective, because that's, at the end of the day, the game's only going to go as far as you want it to go. So have fun with whatever mileage you have.
Nice.
Okay.
Claire.
Hi. Okay. So I've been following it for, God, how many years has it been? 4?
It's been that
Every
long?
E3, just a little new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like Kojima, and I'm attracted to him. So I want to support him. That being said, what is it coming out for? It's PC.
PlayStation 4
and then PC later on sometime 2020.
Okay, I see. So, I play on Mac.
Oh, that's.
So I have a feeling this is going to be a game that I will watch many different Let's Plays of, and that's something that I haven't done in a very long time. But it reminds me a lot of the similar phenomenon of that game Until Dawn, the Choose Your Own Adventure Butterfly Effect game, where all of these different Let's Players made their own videos on it, and everybody ended up doing different things. So it was just a really great time for their views, and it was very enjoyable because Death Stranding will be like watching a movie. It is a piece of art, as they've been saying. So I am happy with just doing just watching Let's Plays of it and taking it all in, even if I can't play it. I'm very excited to just see what's going on because Kojima is very inspiring to me. He's very attractive to me. Kojima, if you're listening, my Siri just went off. So I'm excited. I want to know what all of these different things we've been thinking about for years are actually going to turn out to be.
I like that you related it to a movie because there's literally a movie mode that's like easy mode beyond easy mode, and he made it specifically for like people in the film industry that he was friends with and stuff like that who've never played a video game, but he wanted them to experience the story. So there's like easy mode in this game just for story because it's just like a 40-hour movie. So
I'll probably be playing that version or watching someone just stream it on Twitch, and it won't be like pirating.
No, just wait for the YouTube version where it's just like Death Stranding entirety movie version, 40 hours.
Or you can check out Westtown HD stream.
bro, I mean, if you're gonna play Death Stranding, my man,
I'll consider it.
What do you think about it, Blake?
Oh, good segue. I think it's not something I'll put money in. But if I can borrow it from a friend, I definitely have an interest in it. I've never played a Kojima game. I haven't gotten a chance to play the Metal Gear games yet. So this would be my first one if I did play it. So this would be how should I put this? This would be popping my Kojima cherry, so to speak.
And demonetized.
Overall, the more I see the trailers, the more I'm like, I'm interested to see what's going on here, because like you can like pee in Norman Reedus, you can like zoom into his crotch and like he'll like kick your face. You can like
there's so many really random things added for no reason.
Yeah,
yes.
Every now and then, the baby will just make noise in your PS4 controller and make you rethink life and why you paid for this game. Overall, though,
parenting simulator.
The graphics and the worlds look beautiful, and it's like if Breath of the Wild didn't let you have fun.
Wow.
I mean, it looks more stressful than fun, honestly.
It definitely seems stressful. Like, I guess I want to give my thoughts on it. I've been very excited for this game since like Konami left Kojima. When Kojima left Konami, I was like, dude, what's he gonna do? What is
What's
Hideo Kojima Unchained? Because like I feel like PlayStation and Konami are always like, just chill, dude. Just like, don't do this or that or whatever. And so he's just like, now I can do whatever I want. And so he's added some of the most like idiotic things you could ever think of. But it's also incredible to me. But I'm excited. I always love his story and his characters and dialogue and stuff like that. And I'm interested in the gameplay because it is like so you're like delivering packages. That's the thing. You're a delivery person and you have to go through the world and travel through these areas. And that's basically the gameplay. And there's also like people you have to fight and there's bosses and all of that. But I just think it's really interesting. I'm like super excited for this game. The reviews were so interesting. I was looking through a few of them, and it's just like either people really seem to like really like it or find it really boring. Like it's not like a lot of people even hated it per se. It's just they thought it was boring and they thought it was really fun and they like loved it. So I guess it depends on if you can get into the gameplay or not, which seems really weird. Like it's it's like just it's not like anything you could really put into a previous kind of category because it's just odd. But anyway, I'm excited. I want to get it, but I can't. I have to wait until the PC version. So
Okay, all right. New type. Have you spoken about Norman Reedus and the Funkin' Fetus?
Honestly, I'm very excited for this game. I always love playing Kojima games, other games. They always have like this like methodical thing to say that you never thought about, and then that speaks to me. And I just love the way like Kojima tells stories and all his characters, and I'm just like very much looking forward to what he has to do. As Chris said, Kojima Unchained.
yes,
So yes, I'm very looking forward to what this game is all about.
You gotta pick it up day one.
Probably either day one or close to day one.
Okay, all right. Rabbit, what's your take on Death Stranding?
My take's going to be a little. People are going to be upset with me for saying this anyway, so screw it. Yeah, I will not be picking up Death Stranding, and I'll explain why. The only Kojima games that I've actually enjoyed have been the three that he made as games first and movies seconds: Zone of the Enders, Castlevania: Lords of Shadow, and Metal Gear Solid 5. He made those more game focused first and movies second, and I appreciate that. However, I do like the fact that his other games are essentially just really good movies. So I will watch them on YouTube or Twitch, whichever ends up being the best way to do so. And while I appreciate his work, I am curious as to why he's not just making.
Did Rabbit just die?
Did it cut me off?
Okay, yeah, it did. That was
Okay.
awkward.
Okay.
Say it again.
I said why I like his work. I am curious as to why he's not just making movies now, since that's really been his big passion.
it really is.
Probably because they said you can't make a movie 40 hours. Like, watch me. And
Alright, I'll make it a video game then.
actually, just give him a Netflix series and see what happens.
I was gonna say, have those people seen Return of the King? My God.
Ugh.
But yeah, and another thing about it is, oh shit, come back. No, don't leave.
They always leave, huh?
Yeah, they always leave.
Those
Those do.
thoughts.
Oh,
Damn.
demonetized again.
No. See, that's only on Twitch though. We're fine. We're on YouTube.
Oh, fair.
It's fine.
But yeah, I do appreciate the stuff that Kojima does. But here we go. I remember the other thing that made it to where I'm not going to buy it is Kojima himself said the game won't really get fun until halfway through.
Did he really say that? That's so funny. I never heard that, but that's
Yeah.
an oof.
Yeah, which means to me it's another movie style experience again. So it's thinking of I'll just watch it.
I respect that.
Okay, that's fair. Evan, what's your take? No. What's your topic? Rather, my guy.
Honestly, I was thinking about potential topics up until the stream. Honestly, I was just racking my brain, just trying to like think of something. And what I ultimately came to was the thing that kind of jumps towards my mind. I guess it's like two half topics, and so it's kind of like one. Since I've been playing Nier Automata lately, I'm super excited to finish enough of the game to where I really get more of the references and all the little callbacks that have been included in the new Final Fantasy XIV raid, the Copied Factory. I really want to get into that because, like, I love Final Fantasy XIV. I'm caught up until, like, the 5.0. Like, I'm all, like, on the main expansion story, I'm all good. I just haven't played anything from, like, the most recent patch. I'm just super into that. If you guys aren't really, like, on Final Fantasy XIV, completely understandable. It's like 400 hours of gameplay just to get to the new like Nier Raid basically, but like I'm super excited about that, and it's like canon. So I'm just like, oh god, I gotta understand what's happening here. Gotta love video game lore, you know, when shit all just ties together like that because it's all connected. Yoko Taro's a madman. That leads into kind of my first half topic. Yoko Taro and people like him. What's everyone's experience with Yoko Taro? Like, I'm just kind of curious because the guy kind of seems like a unique entity in this industry, and he almost canceled Nier Automata 1 because he didn't want to get out of bed in the morning, and I think that's one of the relatable things I've ever heard in my life.
I love him. I love game developers with real personality that you get in their games. I think that's like just the coolest thing.
Yeah, when you can just feel their
Freedom.
aesthetic,
Big dick energy.
their energy in their games, I suppose. Like Kojima, yeah, like you may
Like Kojima, yeah.
like or may hate him, but he does have a style that you can sense and can appreciate.
I mean, like Toby Fox, although he's only made a couple of games and he was mostly doing ROM hacks before, but like he has a style and a thing that you can like, oh, that's Toby Fox. That's the Undertale guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Yoko Taro. I didn't know about so I played the original Nier, and I
Same.
feel like I was like one of the 3 people that actually played that game.
I got 2 of the 3 people in my chat. How's it going?
So I was like, oh my god, they're actually like making a sequel to this, and then I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? What are these girls with the nice ass? Like what? What does this have to do with Nier? But and then there's I have actually never played a Dragon Card game, and I know they're connected, but that's just I've only like watched YouTube videos about it to kind of get a gist for going into Nier Automata. And I played some of Automata. I have it on PC now, but I never had a chance to play it before, so that's fun. But I like that. It seems like he has a really good grasp of things with story, but not always with the planning of the entire game and with the gameplay itself. I find my least favorite thing to do in Yoko Taro games is playing it mostly, except for Nier Automata, because Platinum Games worked on the gameplay and they know what's up.
Platinum Games made that. The control on that game specifically is airtight.
So
that
good.
game feels amazing it feels incredible to control 2B, just running around the different areas. It feels fantastic. So I Platinum Games, God, they do their thing always. I feel like this decade they've like been so
On point.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta try Astral Chain.
Oh, I've been meaning to pick that up too. The backlog just gets bigger.
Every month the backlog increases.
It's true.
Only gets bigger and
I
bigger.
feel it. What about you, Claire? Do you have much experience with following Yoko Taro projects? Because I feel like I've had a fascination with the band lately.
I know a lot more about Kojima than I do with Yoko Taro, just simply because I never really had the consoles that his games would be on. So that was kind of a facet that I didn't grow up with, a facet of gaming that just wasn't really in my circles. My friends and I didn't really talk about it, unless if it was E3. Then we would say, oh, that game looks cool, and then we'd move on. I like Nier a lot, and I'd like to go back and play those, but I'd have to get the consoles, unless if they're... No, Automata is on Steam now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Although I don't know if it'll work with Mac. I don't think that.
If
That's always
Resident
the
Evil
problem.
4 doesn't work with Mac, nothing will.
Most things don't work with Mac. It's just a different. I don't know. Like for some reason, it's just different.
Most games are made for Windows in mind.
Yes.
Most people don't make a game with Mac in mind because they're not really made for games.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I enjoy his costume very much, and just seeing pictures of him always makes me smile. That's about it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Whenever he comes out with that big ass helmet on with his little peace signs. It's just so fascinating. He just kind of does whatever he wants, and we're just kind of along for the ride. New type? Do you have any feelings on that?
Oh, I really like Yoko Taro. Just like he has a je ne sais quoi about him that kind of reflects on like the characters he makes in his games. That just makes him so likable.
Mm-hmm.
And just like how really random and chaotic his games can really be, especially with all the different endings like the Drakengard and Nier games have.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find that.
I feel that. I do. I really do. Rabbit?
I never
Sorry.
really had any experience with Yoko Taro or his games.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen, I am intrigued that the joke ending from Drakengard 2 is the canonical ending now. But, yeah, fun fact, that's how Nier came to be. But,
Yep.
But yeah, the games, they look fun, but I will say the main reason I haven't really picked them up is because a lot of the games are almost exclusively grays, dull greens, and browns.
Mm.
And I'm sort of past that stage where, Wasteland, cool. Last thing of, another Wasteland. You know?
Fallout.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shout out to Fallout.
But yeah, I do think I am glad his games are doing well, and I'm glad people enjoy them.
Fair enough.
I got you.
I think we can move on to the next person.
Oh, right, what?
Did you have anything you
So,
on that?
Yoko Taro does Drakengard, yeah?
Yeah.
So, Drakengard 3 was
They're also same universe.
that much I knew. Because Bao streamed Drakengard 3 around this time, like 3 years ago. And for whatever reason, I've always been of the firm belief, don't stick your dick in crazy. But I don't know why I find Zero so hot in Drakengard
Dude, Zero's
3.
great.
Like,
Zero's awesome.
when she killed her sister and she like fooled her sister into thinking that she had come back, and then she's like, by the way, where's everyone else? And she's like, oh, they're here. And she's like, that's great. Stabbed her in the back. She's like, see you later, bitch. And I'm like, damn, okay, that's not okay. No, just I really want to play Drakengard 3, but not only is it hard to find on PS3, it kind of runs like, how should I put this? It runs like
chunky peanut butter.
Yes. It runs like a Muso game on a Windows Vista computer. Okay, it's not very good. I think
it's like really poorly optimized.
I think there's a patch that came out actually like a month ago where you can play it on the PS3 emulator at 60 frames, 1080p. So if that's the case, y'all might see me shooting that because I really liked what I saw of Drakengard 3. Haven't gotten a chance to try Nier yet. A long time ago, someone showed me one of the endings to Nier, and I'm not gonna like spoil what it was, but there was like a lot of like babies like falling out of the sky, and I don't know what I really have no idea what I was looking at.
So what you're saying is that's the prequel to Death Stranding.
Now it all comes full circle. Overall, though, I definitely want to try Automata at some point, because Platinum games. I'm a sucker for Platinum games as well. Same with like Metal Gear Rising, but I think I have to play more Metal Gear games before Rising, is what I'm told.
Yeah, you should just play like the remake of 1 and just go sequentially from there.
I mean, hey, I'm almost done Resident Evil. Metal Gear should be next.
Dude,
You still have Dead Space.
So anyway, yeah. So I think are we done with everyone answered Evan's topic, I guess. So
I believe so.
Claire, what is your topic for the stream? So Claire, what is your topic for the podcast?
I'm sorry, I forgot I was on push to talk. First, I would like to say that I am getting picked up to go to a movie at 9 o'clock. So,
We'll be out of here by then.
Okay. My topic is, simply put, we were mentioning Pokemon earlier. Do you think you'll play Pokemon for the rest of your life? Because when I was younger, I used to always say, I'll never stop supporting Pokemon. I'll love it forever. But I didn't play Pokemon Sun and Moon. I didn't play Sun and Moon 2. I really didn't have any interest in Sword and Shield until recently, but even still, I'm not going to buy it until it's on sale or maybe in like 3 years when it's heavily available for pre-owned discounts, if that makes sense. You know, on eBay, things like that. Just because I don't get much of anything out of it anymore. I enjoy the content that is created because of it and seeing other people happy. And when I have children, I'll get them the games, but I don't think I'm actually going to play the games. I'll always talk about them, but I won't play them.
You get a lot of secondhand enjoyment then.
Yeah.
Bow chicka bow wow?
I wasn't gonna say it,
I see.
so I guess we'll
Well,
start with you
someone
type
had
then.
Sorry with me? Okay, honestly, yeah, that'll probably be one of the games I'll keep on playing for the rest of my life, since I really like collectathons and I really like collecting Pokemon. I like the competitive aspect to it, and I feel like it's one of those games I'll probably like introduce to my children and play along with them. So yeah, I'll probably be playing it for the rest of my life.
Okay, Rabbit.
I don't think I'll be playing it all my life because whenever Gen 3 and Gen 4 came out, I started sleeping on the franchise because I was getting burnout at it. So I think it's a thing of I'll probably play it off and on throughout my life, but never consistently.
Okay,
Yeah, burnout is a real thing.
Burnout's a great game. We're not talking about that.
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
As for me, there was a time and point in my life, just like Claire, where I absolutely adored Pokemon. Like Red and Blue was my stuff. I loved it. Loved the Game Boy Advance games, the DS games. But for whatever reason, after Platinum, I went like I didn't get back into Pokemon until X and Y. The first trailer for X and Y came out, and then that Christmas. The same year X and Y came out. So that was what 2013, 2012.
Yeah.
That was when I actually picked up the first Generation 5 games and then started playing through those. But at that point, it had been like a good 3 years where I hadn't played any Pokemon games. And when I played, maybe that's why I enjoyed 5th Gen so much, because there was so many new Pokemon. It was something I just wasn't used to. I knew like nothing about it, and I was just super excited for something new. But overall, Pokemon is something now that I absolutely adore. I think my mother is content with playing it the rest of her life because that's one of the only things that she wants to play nowadays. And if she keeps playing it, I'll probably keep playing it. So all my friends keep playing it. So it's probably gonna be something that, at the very least, if I stop playing it, those around me and like the next generation of my kids or whatnot, they'll probably get into it. So it's hard to say if I'll keep playing it. I don't know when I'll stop gaming. Maybe when my hands fall off. Even then,
die.
Even then, by the time I get to that, we probably have like prosthetic arms like Joseph Joestar, and I can still like play Pokemon. So, who knows? I'll probably be playing Pokemon Go the rest of my life, though.
Well, you're always on the go, so.
Chris?
Oh boy, I've recently had kind of like a weird. I guess this is a self-reflection of my love of Pokemon, because I think I always will love. It's one of my favorite things ever. I have all this Pokemon stuff in my room right now. I'm playing a Pokemon game. Shh, don't tell Blake. But
Oh my gosh.
but when Ultra Sun and Moon came out, I think that was the first time where I'm like, because I've gotten every single Pokemon game. I played every Pokemon game. But that was the first time where I'm like, a Pokemon game is coming out, and like, do I want to get it? I like didn't feel much of any excitement for it. I ended up getting it just out of like the pattern, to not break the pattern of always getting Pokemon games right when they came out. But I was like, I like didn't care, and I also didn't care about Let's Go Pikachu, and although I got to play that with my little sister, and that was a fun experience. And I'm like very mixed on Sword and Shield about how excited I am for the game, you know. So it's like I feel like I'm kind of getting over main series Pokemon games, but at the same time, when I think about Pokemon in general, I still love it, and I still like buy dumb Pokemon stuff. And I've been playing Pokemon Masters, the dumb new mobile game, and I play Pokemon Quest still. Like, so I just think that I just kind of am changing a bit, and so in the future, I don't know what I'll be like or how I'll feel about video games in general. But I definitely like Pokemon less than I ever thought I would have as a kid. I'm just like Claire said, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna love Pokemon forever. And so I don't know, like I still do love it, but it's just a different kind of love. So I don't know if I'll keep playing them or not. I really don't know.
Okay, Evan.
Honestly, my history with Pokemon is kind of it's kind of reflective of a few of you. I feel like I played a lot of it up to Gen 4. Gen 4 was the last time I got super invested into a Pokemon mainline story, and then I got kind of burned out also, kind of like Rabbit, and just kind of didn't play any other mainline series afterwards. But I would end up watching Let's Plays of, like, let's say Gen 5 or X and Y. I actually stayed with my cousin for a week watching her play X before. That was pretty fun. I was just watching her play and have her explain how it was to me. And that was, like, to me, that was enough. Like, that was enough for me to get a certain amount of enjoyment out of it. And while I do plan picking up Pokemon Sword at some point in the next year, I'm not really rushing to it because I do have other things on my backlog that I am trying to get to. Like I do want to finish Nier Automata. I want to play Persona 5. Like those two games are like on like the forefront of my gaming library because they've been sitting on my like PS4 hard drive for a good amount of time, and I feel like I have to get to them before I get involved with something like Pokemon, even though that is something that I do want to try, given the fact that this is going to be the first time I would actually own a Pokemon mainline title in a long time, and maybe the last time, considering how my tastes in gaming have kind of changed. I'm not saying I won't have fun with it. I'm saying that if the game is enjoyable, then I feel like I might be willing to say like this. Even if I don't play another mainline Pokemon game after this, I can say that I had a good time with it. If that makes sense.
Yes.
It does.
All right, let's keep this moving along so we can get out of here before Claire's got to go. New Type, what is your topic?
All right, so since we were talking about game development earlier, if you were the head of a project for your own video, what would the gameplay be like? I'll start off and say my gameplay would be a Tales of game with like lots of characters with a combat system that's in depth as Devil May Cry.
So basically a 4-person action beat 'em up.
Oh no, not like a beat 'em up, but like really in depth instead of like simple. Press one button to do things.
Okay, so but it would be like Devil May Cry multiplayer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh. That's good shit. Hold up.
Yeah. So, Rabbit?
Okay, could you repeat the question because I had to.
If you were the head of your own like gaming project, what would the gameplay be like?
Well, here's the fun fact: I am the head of my own gaming project.
Okay, there you go.
Shoot, give us the leaks.
I've been developing a tabletop RPG that's essentially a very simplified version of what people would want with Dungeons and Dragons, where there's freedom for people to play around, have as much fun with as they can. You know, it's just a creative game without having to be intimidated by 600-page rule books or a giant price tag. That's my whole goal. I just want people to be able to have fun, get creative, and the most reading they'll have to do, 15 pages.
Ah, sounds enjoyable. I'll look forward to it then.
I feel it.
Okay, so if I had to choose any gameplay style, I absolutely adore fast platformers. Like, I absolutely adore Sonic. I've been giving some serious thought into trying out Freedom Planet because I heard it's a lot like Sonic. So
You should.
the simple answer would be I'd probably just make something akin to that. I don't know if I'd use animals, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't really work too well with humans. But it would be a side scroller, but possibly also have some sort of combo tree, and also let you. Because I'm a sucker for being able to upgrade certain stats. So maybe you could like upgrade your speed, or you could like upgrade. Maybe like 2D Shadow the Hedgehog, but like with upgradable skill sets, if that makes sense. Something akin to that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Chris?
cool. I think if I were to be making a video game, I think the style would definitely like a turn-based RPG. I just love those so much, and I feel like also it seems like if I were like literally making a game, I think that is what I could balance the best, and I understand the workings of the best. And I just think, yeah, I don't know. I've always loved those style of games, so I'd really like to do that kind of thing and do like a cool RPG that's kind of unique in some way, you know.
Cool. Evan?
I've been thinking about it this whole time. That's a really interesting question that I actually have never posed to myself. I really like Arena Fighters. For some reason, that just kind of is just really fun to me. But I also think that they kind of have the tendency, depending on where you look, to come across, especially when you think about like anime Arena Fighters. Mechanically, they're kind of very, very simple. And if I were to make one, because I feel like half the fun sometimes in my experience playing an Arena Fighter is having someone younger than you playing with you, like my younger cousin. So I feel like because it's so simple, she's able to have a lot of fun doing it. So I feel like while I wouldn't want to lose that, I also feel like I would also try to make a system where where players would be able to literally go as far as they want to. Kind of like the Smash scale. You could go crazy high if you wanted to, but if not, you're not necessarily doing anything. Just like a really simple but deceptively simple Arena Fighter to me would be a really fun game, just because I've had so much fun with those over the course of my life, especially with like I believe Blake mentioned them earlier, but I was also a huge fan of the CyberConnect 2 Naruto Storm series. So in that way, I mean, those kind of games just kind of always will have a special place in my heart.
It's cool.
Cool. Clear.
Wait, hold on, Blake. Do you have a bag of chips?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not chips. It's So my old manager, the one I covered for at the store the other day. When I went to give her back her keys for the store, she flooded my pockets with candy, and it's just on my desk,
nice.
and I need to get rid of it. So I'm slowly pecking at it.
I just wanted to call you out publicly.
Thank
and
you.
Also,
Thank you.
You have to share with the class if you're going to be.
Listen, I got 4 more bags. I can send each one out. Like, let's be real here.
Hey, please.
Yes.
My sister's not sharing her trick-or-treat candy. Okay, I'm sorry, Claire. Go ahead.
Everyone is starting to go a little bit crazy. So as I've gotten older, I've realized that certain types of games just overwhelm my senses. I used to be able to play anything and enjoy anything, but now, for example, I don't know. I've been told that other people feel this too, so give your opinion. But I'm playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, but as we were amping up for the release for it, I felt dread because there were so many options, so much gameplay. I felt like, how am I going to be able to do all of that? It's going to take forever to do all of that. And, I don't have the attention span. And now that I'm an adult, I don't have the time to be able to do that. Or at least the time to be able to finish a game in order to keep up with everyone else's opinions online, in order to feel cool, So I like games like Breath of the Wild, where it actively calms me down while I'm playing it. It really... The music, the gameplay, the art style, all of it is just very calming, and it takes me to my happy place. So I would make a game that's similar to that, where the music is just super chill, the gameplay is super chill, and it doesn't give that feeling, the feeling of, oh my god, it's so expansive. No! Not that part of the game. Something that, would preferably help people with anxiety or people that, forgive me, I'm forgetting, but there's a name for when you just have sensory overload. And I'm blanking on it.
I believe you call it anxiety.
Well, yeah, okay. Yes. Just a game that would calm people down.
Do you think it would still be, say, like a game? Do you think it'd be kind of like an Animal Crossing style game, or more of a Breath of the Wild style game? Like more of an adventure, or more of just a chill hangout?
Just a chill hangout. Because while I do enjoy the challenge of Breath of the Wild, I would want it to be something that would be appealing to everybody, no matter what. Because before I started playing Breath of the Wild, it was really scary to me, and then I got into it. But something like Animal Crossing, it doesn't matter who you are, you enjoy it.
I just want to point out that as soon as Claire said that she finds Breath of the Wild relaxing, I was like, as soon as I saw the Blood Moon rise and I heard the Guardian piano, I had anxiety attacks for the first time in my life.
Me. The hunt begins.
So you're
again.
gonna be streaming Animal Crossing New Horizons when that comes out next year?
Of course I'll be. I got so into New Leaf, and when I was a kid, I would play City Folk with my mom on the Wii after school. So it will be a game that will come out right when I'm moving to Japan, and I'm excited to have that as a safe haven for when I'm feeling stressed about my move and beginning a new life in a completely different place.
Isn't it going to be 8 players online as well?
Yeah.
Yo, where are we dropping now, boys?
Where are we, dude? We need to do some like online shenanigans on Twitch with Animal Crossing.
Oh, it's gonna be great. So let's try and wrap things up as quick as we can. Rabbit, what is your topic?
All right, my topic is since Canada just had Thanksgiving last month, and the real Thanksgiving is happening this month. Wow. I was wondering, what game are you most grateful for, and why? Blake, you go first.
All right, so the game that I'm most grateful for, Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube. That game was not only a great way for all me and my siblings to bond together, but we all grew close together. We loved the game. Because at first it was just, hey, we're dropping now, everyone free for all, and then my older brother just kicking all of our asses. But later on, as we all tried to unlock all the different parts to it, try to fill out the checklist, and just it basically all spun an achievement hunter in us as well. And it's one of those games that it's so much fun. You just drop in a city, you just dick around, you collect vehicles, collect parts, you can see everyone else, you can interact with them in the city. If someone gets blown up on their side, you can look over and be like, ha, gay, and just keep on driving. It's such a good game. It's also like the music is also super relaxing. It's only stressful when your brother's a dick, which is a lot. But definitely that, or honestly Smash Bros as well, just because Smash Bros is another one of those games that we always bonded over.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that one. I was thinking, like, as soon as he I played it so much since I was a little kid, I guess. Since I was like really young, I stayed at like a daycare place, and they had Smash 64 there. And it was just one of like my first video games that got me into gaming. And when Brawl came out, and I was like, I don't know, 11 then or something like that, it was just like this whole new world of like this awesome game with all these new characters. And I had no idea who Solid Snake was, or like half of the people in those games were. But I feel like it broadened my horizons when it comes to video games before I was like on the internet and could learn about stuff that way. And then also I made so many friends through Smash. And then of course taking Melee to prom, that like changed my life in a really weird way. And I mean, like, look, because of that tweet, Nintendo hooked me up with E3 tickets. And so, like, I was just literally so much happened from that. That was awesome. That, like, I can't not be thankful to Smash for so much. Also, shout out to my Smash club in high school. Those were the coolest people in the world, and those tournaments were fire. All right.
Evan?
No, man, Chris, I remember. You know what? Now, you know what? I didn't know until now but I remember seeing you taking Melee to prom. I remember that
Blind Legacy.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
I just looked it up to like double check, but I remember it. This really is you.
The living meme.
I remember when I first found out that it was Christy, I
Small
lost
world.
Long-standing legacy, man. And I feel my sentiment is very much akin to Chris, so I won't bother repeating a lot of what he said. So I'm actually going to spend a little bit of time on Final Fantasy XIV because I've been playing that game since May 2017, and like I can't believe how much my life kind of changed after that game. Like it's an MMO RPG, so take that as, like, you can take that however you want. But like in my mind, I've met people from cliques that I was a part of before playing the game, and even meeting some of the mutual friends and the social dynamics that I even cultivated outside of the context of like our mutual friends. Like I felt like those interactions kind of helped shape who I was as a person, because not gonna lie, when I was younger, social interaction wasn't the most appealing thing. I kind of stayed inside my little bubble and didn't really open up a whole lot. And it was through playing games like that that I felt comfortable enough starting to actually talk to people, like way more. And now I'm, because of the courage that I kind of built up because of that game, I'm right here on a podcast talking with you all about video games. So I just kind of feel like I owe a lot to my own personal growth through that one little MMORPG.
Claire?
Final Fantasy Online, Evan, I had a similar experience with. I'm not nearly as deep into it as you seem to be, but I had a lot of childlike joy from playing that game. So I will say that because it was my first MMO ever, it just makes me feel really good. For a game, for me, while this does seem very recent, and I do keep bringing it up, it all makes sense. Breath of the Wild really changed my life, and I'm so thankful for it. I didn't think that I would be able to play the game because I got a Switch, I got the game, I played it on the plateau for maybe, 20 minutes, and I was just so afraid because I didn't think I could do it. I was so used to playing games that didn't really
Have enemies?
require skill, if that makes sense. There are so many different combinations you have to learn when fighting in that game, and because it's unpredictable, that made it scary. I like games like Fire Emblem where everything is when there's going to be a battle because you can see the enemy and you're totally aware of what's going on. So then once I started playing it on Twitch, I realized, wow, I am better at this than I thought I was. This is truly wonderful. And the best thing I can say about it is that Breath of the Wild made me so much more in tune with nature. Since playing it, even though it is kind of the opposite because I'm staying inside to play it for many hours at a time, I started feeling really bad about just sitting down in front of the computer all day, because when I would be in Breath of the Wild and I would experience just how beautiful it was, it made me want to go have my own experiences outside. So because of that game, I have really, truly connected with nature more, and am now into things like going camping and going hiking and just being more involved in my community too.
I feel that, Claire. Honestly, I feel like I need to. Have you ever seen it? Just quick side note before you leave. Have you ever seen an anime called Laid Back Camp before?
No, but I know what it's about.
I feel like you would really, 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 really enjoy that show. For one thing, it's cozy and feel good, and you want a cup of coffee or hot cocoa, whatever your warm beverage of preference is.
Hot maple syrup.
Yeah, fine. That's all good. You can just sit back, get cozied up, listen to that beautiful soundtrack. It's so joyous too. Season 2 is right around the corner, and like it. I honestly felt like I was actually learning about like camping and like legitimately feeling like I felt like I was the same way you feel playing Breath of the Wild. I kind of felt that way even watching that show. Like I honestly feel like you would just enjoy the entire aesthetic of Laid Back Camp immensely. So it's only 12 episodes and you can watch it anywhere on Crunchyroll or wherever your streaming preferences are. It's pretty short, fun, cozy, and you've got more to look forward to.
I've heard some great things about that show, and yeah, I have a feeling I would enjoy it too. So I'll check it out. I'll let you know what I think.
Absolutely.
All right, new type. You're next.
Alright, let me tell you about a little game on the N64 called Star Fox 64. Now, it was one of the first games I ever played growing up, and I was so much in love with it. I constantly played it. I fell in love with all the characters. Yes, even Slippy. I love that guy. And it's just one of those games I can continue just be feeling nostalgic about. I can never get tired of it. I love that game.
I can also add Battle for Bikini Bottom to my list as well. But yeah, new type. How do you feel about a little game called Star Fox Adventure?
Oh, I love Star Fox Adventure.
Thank you. Okay, Rabbit.
Good game.
Rabbit, what game are you thankful for?
Oh, what game am I thankful for? I know this is probably going to come off as weird because I have this reason as to why, but the game I'm most thankful for is actually Mega Man 1 on the NES. And it's not just because it's one of the first 2 games I ever played. It might have actually been the first game I've ever played. I can't fully remember. But back when I was a kid, all the way up until I was around 14, 15 years old, my parents would always fight left and right. And I mean fight to where screaming, you could hear, the neighbors would complain because they could hear the screaming and yelling all the time. It was not a good time. So me being a little kid, I would often go and lock myself in my room, so I wouldn't have to be there and deal with it. But that didn't help me get away from the noise. So instead, I focused on plugging a pair of headphones into a TV, a small TV, with maybe 8 inches in size, and I just let myself get buried into the Mega Man games, and specifically Mega Man 1, since that's the only one I had. And it helped me get through a lot of stuff.
Okay. All right. So that's gonna do it. I think we're just hitting the breaking point. I think Claire's got to go, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our outros, starting in a Discord order. So Chris, where can they find you?
What is up? Follow me, subscribe to Twitch. You'll get 10,000. But if that scares you, then follow me on Twitter @CountChristu. Post good stuff. That's it.
All right, Evan, where can they find you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm equals Evan. You can find me at on Twitter at x2_Evan 2 X's. Like after that, like I just like ramble about the things that like I love to pieces. So if you're okay with that and pretty wholesome content in terms of retweets, I got you.
All right, Claire, where can they find you at?
Again, I am Claire at Glost Garden, and most recently, I'm the most active on Twitch. I stream, tomorrow on Sunday. I stream Tuesdays and on Thursdays. So check me out everywhere on Gloss Garden. Thank you.
All right, new type.
You can find me at Revolving-Bunker on Twitter and Tumblr. Just a meme. Ever feel like talking to me? Go ahead, I'm free. You can tell me anything. We can chat about anything. You can also find me on here since I'm always invited for some reason.
Rabbit.
I don't know if I can follow that one up. But yes, You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Rabbit Sensei Gaming. The Twitter's at r_Sensei Gaming. I have recently started a new thing with my channel where I'm doing the virtual tuber thing. It's been a lot of fun, stuff like that. But yeah, the main thing you'll learn from me is I make a lot of bad jokes. I mean, you'll hear things such as, I used to have a thing against facial hair, but then it grew on me.
Haha, I like that one.
Boo. All right. And of course, y'all already know where you're at. This is West Town HD. Hit that like button for your boy if you guys liked. A big shout out to everybody in the comments. We were going to do viewer questions, but we are already shot for time. These podcasts always go longer than we think they will, and I have no idea how we talk so much. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss out. Same time next week is what I'm going to say, because I would say 2 weeks from now, but that's when Sword and Shield's going to be out. And you already know this time, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be playing Sword and Shield. So we're going to try to hit it up again next Saturday at around 6 o'clock Eastern time. So mark your calendars for that. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Deuces.
Bruh.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Swallow
you,
your
everyone.
souls.